a lot of issues with my audio last night, but I think I got it fixed. I redid the drivers for all of my shit, so I hope that we're okay. We're gonna find out though.
Are we?
Yeah. Let's sync some fucking audio. 3, 2, 1. All right, a true two-parter.
Do you want 2 files or
Coming
1
up
file?
on verse, chorus, verse. I want 800 files. I don't give a shit. Coming up on verse, chorus, verse. Let's talk some relative minors. Keys, not ditties. You fucking weirdos. That's next. Hi, everybody. This is DL with verse, chorus, verse. And it's season 5, so you know what to expect. With me is Evil, spiraling downward Jimmy. Evil, how are you?
I'm good. Circling the drain, apparently.
I mean, I feel like it's a little accurate.
Is
Maybe.
Man.
I don't know. I think what was the phrase you just used to describe yourself? Some sort of hot mess but
I am a hot mess. I'm very okay with it, and I'm happy being that
hot mess of success.
Yeah.
Hot mess express. I mean, yeah.
I'm okay with it. Also here is Rachel. Did you know that Trent Reznor's song of 2024 was Espresso?
That's true.
True story. He got stopped at an awards show and they were like, what was your favorite song of 2024? And he's like, I was really into that Espresso. I got a dog.
Like him even more now.
I think he was trolling. Rachel, how you doing?
Probably true. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Doing great. How are you?
Going back to school?
Maybe. I did sign up for classes that start on March 10th.
Ooh, what's your least favorite?
I feel like I was guilted into it. Because I dropped out for a semester. I'm only taking
by yourself?
No. I am taking epidemiology, just one course. So that's it. That's it.
Intriguing. Very intriguing.
Hey, professional question real fast. My blue is going all the way for my talking. Which one do I turn down for that? The one all the way on the left?
I don't think it's your focus right.
It's an auspicious start.
I know. This is not going to be good. Are you unfrozen?
Oh boy, I am.
It doesn't matter. Is that what you said?
No, I don't think it's your focus right. I think it's your software.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing I can do about it.
There should be like a main, there should be like a main volume on, I mean, Evil might know, because Evil, don't you use the same thing she does? Don't you use Audacity? What's the main volume for Audacity?
Is it the thing right below the numbers of how long this is going?
There's only one way to find out.
You're on Windows.
I am on Windows. What are you listening to right now?
The live version.
The live stuff? Do those count?
I'm mixing inch nails in my ears. Every single thing.
Good. That's
chaos. Utter chaos.
Where is it? Gain slider.
Yes, everyone. This is season 5.
Nothing matters.
We got it all.
4 years we've been doing this, and we still don't know what we're doing.
Hold on 1 second. How am I?
You're good.
Louder for you? No. Yes.
That's what it is. Everything's made up and the points don't matter. That's what I was thinking about. Is David frozen again?
Hi.
How's this going to go, David? Do you have high hopes for this recording sesh?
I never do. Also, but it's weird. We've had issues, but not this. Like, I have a feeling that we'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. We'll get into it.
Let's just go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's just do this.
Hey, welcome to episode 229, the first episode of season 5 of Verse, Chorus, Verse. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DL. I hope you're doing wonderfully. With me is Evil, spiraling downward Jimmy. Yes. It's take 2, motherfuckers. We needed it. Evil, how are you tonight? Really?
So good. Circling the drain, apparently.
Yeah.
But I'm loving every minute of it.
A hot mess of success.
Hot mess success. Yes.
Ooh.
Also here is Rachel. Rachel, did you know? Rachel, take a guess of what Trent Reznor's top song in 2024 was.
If I had to take Swing in the Dark, it's probably Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, am I right?
You are so smart. It's Miss Polio. Rachel, how you doing?
He loves that espresso. I'm doing real good.
What's funny is I'm compressing these and putting them out as is without editing onto YouTube. So I mean, I can
Really?
cut out.
We're
a bunch
back
of
to
the
that
front,
again?
But
Nobody wants to see our faces. Jesus,
make
David.
sure that I have it.
I don't want.
So I'm plugged. I'm not even using Wi-Fi. I'm plugged in. Like, I don't understand.
Tuned in, tapped in, locked in, ready to go.
See, here we go. This is the man that knows what's going on. Everybody, it's season 5. It's Saturday. I'm ready to get lit. I think I am. I don't know. How do I make this
Mentally
better?
you are. Physically, I don't know.
Steadily, not so much.
Good one.
Guys, how have you been? How was your off season?
I was just really sad that we weren't doing more work. But then coming in with 11 hours of 9-inch nails, I was like, this is a great way to start off. I think this is, for our new laid back vibe, I feel like this is a good way to start.
Yeah.
Well, nobody killed themselves. That's nice.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
The night is
Evil,
young.
how was your December? How was your December and January?
December was good. I enjoyed it. I had some time off of work, which was amazing.
Nice.
January has been a little frenetic. My company decided to let go a number of humans from the workforce, and they waited to do it after the holidays. So
That was nice of them.
Happy New Year.
So they can spend all their money
Yes.
first
Yeah.
and then get fired.
Yeah.
Being now the IT guy, it makes me kind of the executioner. It feels like a little bit. So I got to
Oof.
shut down all the services and stuff. And so it's a weird position to be in. So it's been a little weird. I try to find silver linings in everything, hot mess success and all, which is,
Yeah.
I'm going to make that my brand of the year is hot mess success. So January's been a little touch and go.
But you're getting through it.
I got a great family and an awesome pair of dogs. Addie has decided to start growling at me. She doesn't like it when I kick her out of Eve's room, and so she's just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna start snarling at you."
Yikes.
Damn it, dog.
Really?
Teenagers.
Yeah.
How old is Hattie?
Almost 4. I think it's the addition of the new dog, who she snarls at regularly. So it's just like that's how I object to what's going on here. Is I think what's going on.
My dog's having some issues with the dog. Does not love it. Like she's good with him and everything, but she's very, she doesn't so much growl as she looks like she's about to do something. You know what I mean? It's like, she's never been like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, 9-inch nails. That is what we are starting season 5 with.
I just have to say, I love that in the episode outline, it says, pretend to like each other. This section.
Yes.
Yeah. This
is amazing.
Actually, I guess where we should start is what we're going to do this year. And I talked about it a little bit in the preseason episodes, but every single episode we do is going to be a 2-parter. For episodes like this, that's needed. That's necessary.
Right. We'll use it.
Band dissections take 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But for the single ones, it's going to be a 2-parter, and it's just going to be a lot more chill. We did an episode where we just hung out and had drinks together. And it's going to be a little more of that. Because it's fun.
It is fun.
I'm thinking what I should do. I have it set up to record in 4K. I feel like if I change that, this freezing won't happen. So maybe I'm going to,
I hate starting over.
So yeah, season 5, we're going to, as Evil said, pretend like we like each other a lot more. Hang out and talk about life and make-believe. Past. Yeah. Imagination. Yes. Rachel, the only thing I know about your history with 9-inch nails is that you didn't listen to them because you were creeped out by them.
was a little terrified, and rightly so, after studying them when I was a kid. That was the Manson era when I decided that I didn't like them. It was very early on, and so every time, like, Closer was the big one that was always on the radio, that always on MTV. That's I immediately turned it off. So this was actually kind of interesting because, I mean, I had heard bits of Closer and a couple bits of other songs, but I really knew nothing. Really of Nine Inch Nails. So this was this was a really hard study for me, and especially because of how many rabbit trails you can go off of on this guy.
God.
Yes.
So I could have studied for more months for this episode, I think, to be more prepared. But it was good.
Lucky
it was
for
interesting.
You
Lucky for me.
Evil, I mean, I feel like we've had this conversation. I think it's more of a you respect them, but it's never been your thing kind of thing.
Like, yes, in the 90s, they were for sure much more on my radar just because they were in, the pop culture zeitgeist way more, MTV and playing on the radio stuff. Collaborating with all kinds of people, which they still do. It's a different, I don't know, a different level of access, I guess, just because there's so much more other stuff going on today. So I've always been kind of a casual fan from a distance, I guess you could say. Like,
okay,
I wasn't like, I don't like Nine Inch Nails. I always kind of liked it. It just wasn't like square in my wheelhouse ever.
Yeah. So is it safe to say that for you, Nine Inch Nails, as far as listening, kind of ended around the 90, like you didn't follow them past what would you say, Spiral or Fragile?
Spiral, like Fragile was a lot of, I mean, I recognized some stuff, but I didn't know it well. Like the Bowie collaboration and Perfect Drug, that was kind of like the tail end of them being kind of on my radar in a big way.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew they're out there doing stuff and Woodstock and whatnot, but yeah, I think that's
old Woodstock.
Good old Woodstock. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, or where I was, I guess you could say.
Dun dun dun. Relative minor key. I'm gonna say that a bunch. It's still cutting out a shit ton, but it comes back really fast. This is annoying as fuck.
It's better.
That's what she said, actually.
It's sucky and better, but that's okay. Yeah, Nine Inch Nails, everybody, they have a very, very big discography. If you didn't listen last year, you poor dummies, when we did bands like Stone Temple Pilots and Soundgarden, I would recommend going back and doing that. But what we do is we each pick an album to dive into more than, and that person will give info on it. I would definitely be the nerd, I guess, in this episode. I've been a big Trent Reznor guy, shocker, for most of my life. So in and out, there's definitely interesting stints that I just wasn't listening to his stuff. But then we'll talk about how he later in his life started getting into really interesting shit that I very much liked. So we should talk about Nine Inch Nails.
Let's do it.
Rachel, are you still scared of him?
A little bit. Some stuff I was not a huge fan of and turned off at points in songs.
What a baby.
I know.
It's understandable. It's very understandable. But first, we got to get to the most important part of the night, and it's so important. This episode 1 of the brand new season. What are we drinking? Rachel.
David.
What are you drinking?
Well, I've got a Diet Coke and vodka. That's all.
You don't strike me as a Diet Coke person.
I don't love Diet Coke.
I thought you had class.
I love Coca-Cola Classic. However,
yeah,
these Cokes they're Santa Cokes. And because they're Santa Cokes, we cannot give them away at my work anymore because they seem like they're old. And so they put a big 24 case of Coke and Diet Coke on our carb credenza. And so I'm drinking that from there. It's just what I had.
So you're drinking stolen from work Coke and
Correct.
vodka.
Free Coke.
free Coke,
Yeah.
and paid for vodka.
What kind of vodka?
Great question. Smirnoff whipped cream, because I'm a lady. A classy,
Because
classy,
you're a Rachel.
high class lady. Exactly.
Classy. Evil! What are you drinking? You've got greenage in your drink.
It's green. It's a smoke screen. It's a drink out of the Cocktail Codex book.
Ooh.
Basil? It's mint. It's the other basil. It's the minty basil. It's scotch, a little bit of Lafroig. The recipe calls for famous grouse, but fuck that. I use it's now called naked malt. It used to be called naked grouse.
It's not naked grouse anymore?
No, they rebranded it. Because famous grouse is kind of seen as a budget scotch.
Yeah, I think I still have a bottle of it somewhere.
The naked.
I like it.
They rebranded it naked malt because it's all malt. It's a blended malt, which it's fucking great. It's like it is one of the best if you're into scotch. It's one of the best like budget scotches is the naked malt.
Oh, it's great.
So fucking good. Yeah, it's
fantastic.
$35 a bottle.
Doesn't bad.
That sounds delicious. Is it good?
It's really good. So good. So it's I use the naked malt now. Lafroig, lime juice, simple syrup, mint muddled in. Yeah, I think. Oh no, the green is green chartreuse. I somehow stumbled upon a bottle of green chartreuse for whatever they charged at state-controlled Idaho, 60-something bucks. You try to get it online, it's like 150 plus delivery.
Nice work.
Yeah, I saw it and I'm like, it was like I found liquid gold, and I like snatched it off the shelf, and yeah, it's amazing.
I still have some. I'm saving it.
It's so good.
Save
chartreuse.
Whatever.
Anyway, smokescreen, great. I've made it with Ardbeg too, and it's as good, a little different, but it's good.
Which one do you like more?
Yeah, I like them both.
All right. It's first episode of the season. You know that I have to drink, right? It made sense before because there were 4 of us, but I drink one.
Oh, I
I
even knew that. The Four
I
Loko.
even knew that. It is
that.
I just.
I think you should
Since
drink
it's Four Loko,
Loko.
since I'm buying a Four Loko, I might as well buy like the craziest Four Loko. It's Sour Galactic Punch Four Loko.
Ooh, I'd put that in my mouth.
It's only 14% alcohol by volume.
How is it?
It is
just disgusting.
It's really, really disgusting.
Yeah,
I want to try it so bad. That sounds amazing.
The beginning of it tastes like diet, and then the aftertaste is pure grape cough syrup. Grape cough syrup. It's really fucking terrible, and it's gonna give me a raging headache. But hey, I'm gonna get drunk. And
hey,
that's
caffeine
all that
is
matters.
good at fighting headaches. That's why it's in Excedrin. So.
And I also drink
true.
Red Bull. Nobody worry, I'm gonna be okay. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
You're going to be up for the next 40 days.
Well, that's what we're drinking. We have a couple things to do. Tonight's going to be a long one, ladies and gentlemen. That's what she said. Aren't you all lucky? We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Everybody, we're back. Episode 229 times we've done this. That's fucking weird. That is a lot of times.
You think you would?
Friendship is rare. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? We got to do a friendship test. Rachel.
Yeah.
What's Evil's favorite Nine Inch Nails album?
This was not easy.
Mm-hmm.
I said The Slip because it seemed like it was the heaviest, I guess, out of all of them.
Really?
I don't know. I'm probably wrong.
I did not see that pick coming for anyone from anyone at all. I like it.
I do too.
Rachel, what about me? What's mine?
It's with teeth, but that's not what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Year Zero.
Why?
Because it's weird. Because it's weird, and also because I asked Trevor what his favorite was, and you guys are very often the same. And he said With Teeth, and I said, that doesn't count. And then he said Year Zero. So I'm just going to go with that.
Interesting. Evil, what is my favorite Nine Inch Nails album?
if we're discounting with teeth, because we're gonna talk about that another time.
I think we should count it. I think it can count.
But then it's with teeth.
Well, you got Rachel
I'm
has
gonna go with what I
the
wrote
memory
down.
of a. Okay.
I'm gonna say Pretty Hate Machine.
I mean, that is not a stupid pick.
No,
I will say that.
it's a little risky though, given their entire catalog, to pick that as your favorite. But I'm taking risks.
It's true.
Hot mess
I love
success coming at you live.
Hot mess of success. Speaking of hot messes, what did you pick for Rachel?
Well, I don't know because I didn't know her aversion to.
You don't know that I'm scared of Nine Inch Nails?
No, I didn't know
Really?
how scared you were. So fuck, man. Like all of the reasons I picked what I.
That is so much worse than I would rather take a fucking shot of vodka, of shitty vodka than that. That is so bad.
You got to drink it.
We do. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think you should have 4 Locos from here on out.
I'll let me work up to that this year. I'll train for it.
Trade your liver for it. So I'm just gonna roll with what I picked, which is the Downward Spiral. But I have serious doubts about that now, knowing what I know about the album. Maybe not.
Yeah, fuck it. The scores, whatever, and the points don't matter, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong. I think both of those answers are wrong. I'm gonna ride them into the rocks because
I love it.
Because it fucking.
You'll owe some drinks and you'll be okay.
Yep.
Rachel, I said that your favorite is With Teeth. I think it is the most verse, chorus, verse, Nine Inch Nails, besides one more other one that we'll talk about. I think it's the most pop bangery of the albums. I'll put it like that.
Okay.
Evil, the answer is Downward Spiral. It's 1994, so we already know that he's going to pick it. And it is not metal. I will say that. That is very metal.
I'm going to get really sad if it's Downward Spiral.
Let's just...
Sad.
Why?
Because, again, when I was asking Trevor, I said, what's Jimmy's favorite? He said Downward Spiral. And I was like, I don't think that's right.
Hold on.
Rachel, were either of us right on your picks? Evil, were either of us right on your picks?
Officially, no. Unofficially, yes.
I'm intrigued. This is going to be a great episode.
Maybe that's the opposite. I don't know. Well, when we get to the very end and talk about that, we can hash that out. I have lots of caveats to my rankings and shit with this band.
Me too. Because one of you is half right in my pick, in picking for me. So, yes. Guess how we're going to start episodes from now on, guys? I figured it out. I figured out the solution to all this stupid musicians are assholes bullshit. We're starting the episode with a little segment I like to call Acknowledge and Move On. And what we're going to do is anything that we don't want to fucking waste time in the middle of figuring out, oh, do we not, blah, 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 blah. Let's just fucking go through it now. Starting with Trent Reznor's heroin overdose in the year 2000. Big shocker, a guy writing music like this was really into fucking drugs. Had some...
Surprise.
We don't judge people by drugs as a group. It's just part of music. That's fine. It's not fine. It is what it is.
Courtney Love accused him of sexual assault of underage groupies when they toured together. She walked that back eventually, and Kristen Pfaff, who was the bass player for Hole, you can find it, does in an interview say that was bullshit, that was not true, that did not happen.
And then Courtney killed her.
What did you say?
She said something that was right.
I said, and then Courtney killed her, but, that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Had someone. And then, of course, if you've ever read Marilyn...
Killed her with kindness.
Joke of the year. If you've ever read Marilyn Manson's book, which I have and loved back in high school, not so much. It has not aged well. Egads, there are some stories in that book. Bad ones. But... first off, Reznor has always denied... So Reznor and Marilyn Manson toured together. Marilyn Manson opened for them in the, Self-Destruction Tour? Is that what it's called? But who cares? It should also be noted that the things that they talk about that happened in that tour, which are pretty bad. Reznor always hated Marilyn Manson because of that tour. And wanted him off the tour. He hated touring with the band because the band was fucking disgusting. And the reason that I believe that is because in Manson's book, Manson is bragging about that. Manson is like we were the real hardcore motherfuckers. Like we were real. So that's really all I have. Do you guys have any let's acknowledge it and move ons for Nine Inch Nails?
I mean, I have the recording at Sharon Tate's
The
old
Manson
house.
Yeah, we can talk about that, or I was going to bring it up at the album, but do you think that that's a...
I have to say, when I read that, I was really sad about it because I think that's pretty fucked up. However, in an interview, he did say, take it for what it is, say that we were looking for a place. We found this house. It was not around other people, so we could be loud. That's why we picked it. And then I found out that that's what the house was. But
Yeah,
he continued to stay there.
And he talked about it a lot.
Yeah, he continued to stay there apparently until Sharon Tate's sister, they ran into each other and she said, "Hi, that's really fucked up. What if it was your sister? Let's not." And then he's like, "Okay, yeah, we should stop doing this here." But they also shot a music video there, so I don't think he was really terribly remorseful until that run-in. So the fact that he knew what it was and kept recording there, I think that's in really poor taste. So...
Well, it's in poor taste. I also think it's something that I would do until, honestly, until I was, same thing. And then the sister would confront me and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then my head would be like, "Oh my God, you're right. I am so sorry." And that's what he says happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
right,
the naming the studio Le Pig, which was like the blood. I mean, fuck, man, that's
a little on the nose there, Trent.
Yeah, once you actually humanize it from the perspective of someone who's connected to it, and then you're like,
and the fact that it happened in his lifetime, like it's not like, Wild Bill Hickok was killed.
It's not like for us where it's 10 years.
But it was a couple years after he was born it happened, and that's kind of a little, like I said, it's in pretty poor taste.
No, that's a good point. I'm glad that you brought that up for us to talk about now. Okay. Is that it? Is that all you guys have?
That's all I got.
So hey, for a rocker that's been around for 35 years, not so bad. Nine Inch Nails is basically Trent Reznor since 1988. Atticus has been an official member since 2016. But he's pretty much, he's been a part of it the whole time. He's been there since With Teeth, and we will get to that. We will talk a bit about how Nine Inch Nails started with Pretty Hate Machine. Reznor was inspired by Prince to play all instruments himself except for drums, which he liked to program himself. He has continued to play most Nine Inch Nail parts in recording ever since. Does this work to his detriment? Maybe. More foreshadowing. As far as Nine Inch Nails, we talked about, what was your knowledge of Rachel, as far as, besides being, not the music, but the band, who they were, what kind of stuff they were doing?
I found out when I started studying for this that Trent Reznor did everything himself. I had no idea. So again, I was going in super, super blind to this. But then I do have to say, after finding that out, I'm really fucking impressed. That he managed to do all of the sounds, all of the instruments, everything himself. So
Evil Mr. 94 himself, I know, but at the same time, I know you're not a huge NIN guy. Are there NIN stuff, even maybe back in Pretty Hate Machine or something like that you were into, that you were, would you have considered yourself a fan at one point?
Of course. I remember the very first time I heard them, and I can't pinpoint the year, probably 91, 92-ish, maybe 90. I remember specifically this moment. It was after school in the weight room at the high school I went to, which was kind of like, it was in this weird part of the school. It was on a second floor, kind of overlooking like fields and the football field and stuff. And there was some dude in there who was older who I'm like, why are you here? And somehow he got access to the gym and he was playing Nine Inch Nails in there. And all of us young kids, he was an older dude to us. He was probably in his early 20s. And he's like, this guy like did all the music, and he was like raving about it. And it was the first time I'd ever heard of him. I'm like, okay, cool story, bro. And you know, I thought it was great workout music, whatever. But I vividly remember that moment, kind of knowing, and that planted the seed. Like, this is sort of a one man thing. He does all of it. He's the, you know, the captain of the ship, and so that was that was like interesting to me. And this was Pretty Hate Machine that was playing. I had never heard anything quite like that, so that was also interesting.
Yeah, fairly similar to me, and I've told this story before a couple of years ago on the pod, but we're covering Nine Inch Nails, so you get to hear it again, motherfuckers. But I think it was being on the Crow soundtrack that I think I was listening to that or something like it with my uncle. And I was just talking about how much I loved that song. And this was later in the, you know, because I was young. This was, because that was after Downward Spiral, right? 94?
Yeah. Yep.
Or was that 92? Yeah. And
wait, that might have been.
What was first?
That may have come out right around
94. The Crow came
right
out in
about
94.
the same time.
So.
Yeah, but so did Downward Spiral.
Yeah. It came out in May. The Crow did.
The Crow is a little bit after then.
May. So like 2 months after. Yeah. So barely. Okay. And it was Dead Souls. And he was like, dude, two things. Number one, do you know Joy Division? And number two, this album. And he pulls out Pretty Hate Machine and he turns it on. And just like you said, Evil, you would like this guy, oh, this is cool and stuff. The never heard anything like this knocked me in my fucking teeth when he turned on Head Like a Hole into Terrible Lie. I vividly remember where I was standing in his living room when that shit was playing. That's how much that music fucking,
Would you say that
whatever
it hit you
yes.
so hard that it left you without teeth?
I'm gonna go something about a head in my hole.
That's where I was thinking too.
You got a head in your hole.
I got a head in my hole, everybody.
That's what she said.
David Stein.
I was the opposite of Rachel in high school. I was a massive fucking Pretty Hate Machine Downward Spiral fan. I fucking loved everything about this stuff and The Crow and the other stuff we'll talk about that came out around that time. And then, yeah, like I said before, my fandom has weaved in and out to very severe lengths and not so severe. And it wasn't until studying for this that I've realized how big or not big of a fan that I actually am of Nine Inch Nails. So we'll get to that when we go through all the albums, that sort of stuff. I'll say this. How long did you two give yourselves to study for this?
Holy moly. Okay, I'm just going to elephant in the room here. This is some of the hardest music to binge. Like,
yeah,
it was incredibly difficult to listen to a bunch of Nine Inch Nails. So I started a couple of weeks ago, and I'm glad I gave myself the time because there were at points where I'm like, I don't want to do the podcast anymore because of this. It was hard.
Oh, buddy.
I put my notes here on my only notes on this is if you try to listen to this in one stretch, you're fucked.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because not only is it just unrelentingly dark and morbid, but it's also... So here's the thing. We can have this conversation now. There are bands that I hate that keep doing the same fucking thing over and over and over. And then there are bands that I'm like, look, you have your thing. You know what it is. I would prefer you just keep doing it over and over and over in different variations. And that's me for Nine Inch Nails. I love... Sorry, my audio is... completely fucked. Wow, everything is...
what it did last night.
You sound way better to me now.
Do I? Well, there's that. Okay, sorry about that. So I think not only is there this sense of this just the unrelenting fucking depression, but a lot of it is very similar.
Yeah.
Rachel, go ahead, Evil.
No, you're right. I mean, there's one album that was like kind of broke me a little bit because of that, and I'll hold that thought till we get there.
Is it because you're fragile?
Hmm.
I can do dad jokes too.
Yeah, you can.
Rachel,
That's a good one.
Rachel, tell
Yeah.
me how you feel. Tell me your feelings.
I think having such little knowledge, I probably should have given myself more time to really listen and listen and re-listen. Having it be such a huge discography, I really didn't go over too much more than once or twice.
Fair.
So the short answer is I just didn't give myself enough time. And I think I could.
Did you get?
I don't want to say it's unfair.
Was it a slog for you?
No, actually, I think part of me lyrically, I like to pull up the lyrics and we'll get there, but I often turned off the lyrics. And so that made it a lot easier to listen to, probably because I wasn't reading exactly what was going on. I was just kind of listening to what was going on. So it was not as harsh. I can't say I got like super depressed or sad listening to this. So it was easy, I guess, in that way, a little bit more than for Jimmy.
Well, we can talk about the lyrics. Let's talk about the lyrics.
Okay.
So did you turn them off because you think they suck, or did you turn them off because they were too depressing?
They were bad. It was so rhymey at times, and not in like a good way. It was like, what rhymes with kill? Like it was like the same rhyme for 4 lines in a row, and it was a bit much. It was not super creative. And I think that bothered me because of the juxtaposition between the lyrics and the music being so good and so thoughtful, that having the lyrics be a little lazy at times bothered me enough to turn the lyrics off.
So first off, many times that he hates his own lyrics. He does not think that he's a good lyricist.
He right.
I
Sorry.
don't think there are lyrics that I love. I think he has much more thoughtful lyrics than certain current pop artists. But he does a lot. You're right. He does a lot of the same shtick. He loves the on my hands and knees talk. He loves talking about how basic, like, lost everything and I don't fucking care kind of stuff. But I do. Well, let's Evil, you first. What are you? Because obviously Rachel and I are the night and day of this. Let's talk to the person who doesn't care.
I don't care about lyrics. I like the delivery
Sure.
of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like the musicality of it worked for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they're like terrible, because there are lyrics that are terrible. And I think it's because they're nestled in the soundscapes well. So they're not like front and center most of the time. It's like,
That's very true. And I think that's why I was able to turn them off and
yeah.
put it in the back of my head.
Don't
Well, and it's
overthink it. Might as
very
well
obvious
jump.
that
Don't
for
overthink
him,
it.
speaking to more of what you're saying, it's very obvious that he cares a lot more about what fits in the music than the songwriting aspect. There's a hell of a lot more than what consonant and vowel sound he's going to get where, than like, which is evident because of how much he got into what he started getting into. But I do think that there's a lot of good shit. And I like, me, I like that stuff. I like this is not my face, this is not my life. I like he loves all the, you can have it all, my empire of dirt. He's really big on the nothing is everything is nothing sort of stuff. But if I do have a couple specific lines. Let's see. He thought he lost everything, then he lost a whole lot more. I like, for once in and I still want to ruin it. And what I think is amazing? I think There Is No You, There Is Only Me is such a good fucking anthem for a pissed off song. I love that. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, I can't. Well, and we can't look past the fact that he has quite possibly the most famous songline of the 90s.
Yeah, there's that.
I mean, he does. Nothing? No? Okay.
There.
Yep. All right.
We've all been there.
Of musicians are we talking about?
James.
What?
Well, we've kind of started. We talked about the fact that he does all this shit on his own already. So that's pretty rad. And no, okay, actually, I shouldn't. Not all this shit. He has live bands that are amazing. His live, one of the things I highly recommend people do is go watch and listen to YouTubes of their live performances or sessions of his drummers. Fucking amazing. It's so fucking cool. Resner's a really good piano player. He's a sneaky good piano player to me. He's classically trained. Rachel, what are your thoughts on the musicianship?
Oof. There's a lot there. He's incredibly musically talented. He has an amazing understanding of music theory. So he knows how to use what he's got, and he knows how to find sounds and use those sounds.
He likes to use what his mama gave him.
Exactly. But like, I super appreciate when artists hear a noise and they're like, let's manipulate that and let's put that in. And that's going to be something that people can identify the instrument because it's not an instrument. It's a can, slamming down on a desk or something. And he uses all these sounds and he shifts so seamlessly between like emotion and feeling.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, the musician, you could talk for days. It's so good. His production is amazing. It's meticulous. And then just the fact that he heard, synth music in the 80s and he's like, I am going to use this, but in a completely different way. Mm-hmm. He was so ahead of the times in that. When I mean, we'll get into Pretty Hate Machine in a second, but when I first listened to that, it did not sound like 1989. I had no idea because that sound got so popular later on, but he was also, an innovator in that he liked that sound, but not how it sounded, I guess.
Speaking my language. Evil, what did you think? Does it depend on the album for you? Like what? No, just what are your thoughts on the musicianship?
So many thoughts.
What do you have in your hand? Is that a screwdriver?
It's a screwdriver.
Okay. Just check.
You got to play with something.
I got tools. Tim the Tool Man Taylor over here. So I was struggling with the catalog as a whole. I'm like, fuck, man, this is really difficult, and I couldn't put my finger on why. Like, there were certain songs, tracks, sounds within different songs that I loved, and then others where I'm just like, And so I was on a walk. Number one, this is not music for a walk. Like out walking the dogs, which is one of the ways I usually listen to a lot of the music for the podcast. And it's just not it. Most of it is not workout music for me. Some of it is very much, but most of it isn't.
Yeah.
Another place I listen to a lot of the music. I mean, you really have to sit down and pay attention to it. Here's what clicked for me is like two things came together. As a musician, I kind of liken him to music as like a collage artist is to visual art. He like assembles these soundscapes from different places and he knows right where to put. He's like an organizer of sounds.
It's amazing.
And then it was like, there's a visual component to his music, even if there isn't something visually attached to it. And I think I gravitate way more. Well, maybe I gravitate way more to the music
for later in the season,
to Nine Inch Nails music that has a visual component to it, whether it's a music video or a live video that really sticks in my head, or even like fucking playing Quake and listening to Nine Inch Nails as the soundtrack. Like there's a very visceral visual component to it for me that has to be there for it to work. And if it's not there, if I'm just out on a walk with my own thoughts and my dogs, it's missing that component. And once I was able to connect those dots, then I was able to listen a little bit more deliberately with like visuals, or even in my mind constructing visuals. And you can't do that while you're walking. You have to kind of sit, deliberately listen to music and use your fucking imagination.
There's a conversation I want to have. But maybe we need to, I think we need to have it late. I'm going to come back to this.
Okay.
Because I have thoughts on on everything you just said. Okay. But I think I don't want to have that conversation until we go through the discography and
Okay.
we give our thoughts on
Sure.
early to later, because I have something.
All right. That was the key for me,
Talking
though.
about,
Is
I love what you just
connecting
said. Just did the shrooms and saw the visualization and you were good to go. I love the fact that he has his own thing. Like we'll talk about it more with Pretty Hate Machine, but just like Rachel said, he is the reason for a lot of the industrial stuff we have now. But not only that, you could do musical theory based on Trent Reznor. Like he does these chromatic things that musicians weren't doing the way that he was. These, like, the suspended minors or whatever. And he's all of the, I know that it's repetitive, like his chromatic harmony, and I could see it being, I love the minor key switches, the major sixes and into the minors. I feel like there's brain chemistry that makes you just love that makes me love that sort of melodic motif. That's kind of the ethos of Trent, and I fucking love that. That's one of the biggest things I love about music. So it's funny because if you were to ask me, if I didn't put any thought into it before studying for this, and I was at a bar getting drunk with a friend, they were like, how good of a musician do you think Trent Reznor is? I probably would have been like, he's good. More producer than musician, but he's good. And I now, after spending these couple weeks or few weeks or however long it was, I think he's a fucking amazing musician. Mm-hmm. I think he sees things that a lot of people don't see. Groundbreaking synth work. Mm-hmm. Do you, Evil, for you, and we won't, I guess just a basic yes or no, is there a very obvious best period of Nine Inch Nails for you?
Yes.
Rachel? I love it. I love it. I love it so much.
And I know that because when I was rating the albums, I put the years next to them to be able to answer that question. And they were all over the place. And so in that way, and honestly, like you said, it's the same thing, but it's not the same thing. So it's like he is changing and he's trying new things, but the sound really doesn't, it's not like any album is like wildly different from the other.
I think that's fair. I think it's very fair.
I have a caveat to my yes that, once again, I have caveats to fucking everything with the rankings.
Is it a caveat that you're expressing now or a caveat for later?
I think this is probably, I'll go into this more later, but I think he is at his best when he's pared down, like when it's very pared down and focused. That's where the real genius is.
I'm not going to tell you yet if I agree with that or not. I guess the YouTube folk will know.
Yeah.
Did you guys listen to the live stuff?
Some. Not a ton. I mean, there's so much to listen to. It's like, fuck.
Have you seen them live?
So I did see some video live. I didn't listen to any audio live.
Did you? But you never seen, like, gone to a concert and seen them?
I've never seen them live in person.
I have seen them.
Really?
It was. I went in Seattle, and this was, to give you a time frame, this was a decade ago. So it was, well beyond the downward spiral Nine Inch Nails. This was yoked Trent Reznor, not goth Trent Reznor. And what I loved, even though, so you remember, like, we've talked, and we did last year, about how one of the best concerts that we've ever been to was Stone Temple Pilots, because they were like, we know what the people want and we're gonna fucking give it to them. Yeah. Well, Reznor was playing what he the fuck wanted to play. And
not surprised.
No. Yeah. And I think he ended the concert, he started it with, like, Terrible Lie and ended it with Hurt, but it was 80-something% B-sides,
but okay, let me stop you there. I'll let you finish.
Can I finish?
That's what I want from Nine Inch Nails live.
Exactly. That is
Like Stone Temple Pilots.
I don't want to spoil my entrance into the second episode, but I might steal a couple sentences from Trent Reznor himself before he started a concert in like 2008. It was. Sorry, go ahead. Where are we? Who am I? This fucking Four Loko, man. Have you guys ever... No. Let's do it this way. Let's go this way. Have you seen and love the movie The Social Network?
I think the movie's not great, but the soundtrack is amazing. I don't love the movie.
Oh my God. Evil, you don't like Social Network?
It's fine. I don't dislike it.
You asshats. I have no idea what you're talking. That movie is fucking brilliant.
It's fine.
That is one of my like I fucking love that movie. And I think that a lot of the reason is the score.
Well, okay. Fair. Sure.
Dude, even though it's nowhere near an integral part of the movie, but when they're doing the boat scene and Trent's doing the Hall of the Mountain King in social, oh my God. That's so okay. Follow-up question. Have you seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie from 2 years ago?
No.
No.
I'm not.
That score is one of the coolest fucking scores ever. What about Bird Box? You seem pretty... I'm trying to talk about the fucking Trent Reznor score.
Yeah, I said Quake like early on. Like,
yeah, okay, yeah.
It was 96.
It's all downhill from there. Like,
how dare you? I think he and Atticus were... I mean, it's low-hanging fruit. Because it's like, of course these motherfuckers are going to be good at scores. Like, but you know what we need? Some low, ominous tone music. Well, have I got a guy for you? Yeah. I'm gonna take a huge stab in the dark that we don't need to go over the EPs, right?
We'll come back to EPs at some point.
I love that. You know, this is the problem with this Nine Inch Nails thing is there's takes that I'm like, I don't want to do this yet. I don't want to get to this yet. Because there's some EP stuff. Where are we at time-wise? When did we actually start this?
We're an hour in.
Yeah.
Hour 5 is what I have.
So we should probably, for editing, because there's going to be a lot of edited.
Yeah.
We should probably do a little more.
Well,
fuck. We didn't even take... Okay, well, fuck breaks. Go ahead.
Before we dive into albums, are we still on kind of like solo projects and collaboration?
Yes, we are.
Because I don't feel like we're gonna touch on that stuff later. I have 2 things to bring up.
Love it.
Number 1, the collaboration with Bowie is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You might have just fucked up multiple things. I completely forgot about Afraid of Americans. Completely fucking forgot about it. You son of a bitch.
I don't think it gets added to it. That's a Bowie song with Nine Inch Nails, featuring Nine Inch Nails.
Thank you. Yep, you're right. I am not adding it to my favorite songs. Good.
Otherwise, it would fuck everything up. But in terms of like, holy, right,
Rachel?
Yeah.
So good.
No, I think it's great that he cited David Bowie as one of his influences, and then David Bowie was listening to his music and he's like, I want to work with this guy.
Right. And that's one of my favorite tracks of the 90s. Like,
fuck yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
God damn, that song's so good.
And the other thing I wanted to bring up is like we did a quick fire last year. It was the Halsey album from 2024, and we're like, meh.
Yeah, he made Halsey good.
Right,
that was really good. A
couple years prior, we were like, holy shit. Yes. Trent and Atticus should produce albums for more people because it would be fucking awesome. Yeah.
I also like how we're like, holy shit, good. And then last year, we're like, nope, she's not.
I'm just kidding.
Atticus. No, good job, Trent and Atticus.
Right.
Fun fact, if you listen really closely, this is something I caught because I listened to that song 800 million times, to Afraid of Americans. You know, at the very end when they're just saying Johnny's an American over and over and over, and they're doing like the nun, 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 nun. David Bowie is saying Johnny's an Americunt.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Jimmy knows it.
I didn't know
mate.
that.
I just say I've always loved that. Or no. Is it cunt or cock?
I think it's cunt.
Yeah, cunt, cock. Tomato.
Either way.
I mean, he's British. Cunt would make more sense, right? Should we talk about albums?
Hey, let's.
Let's do. Look, Nine Inch Nails is hard because of how many LPs, EPs, fucking singles, all this shit they came out with.
So many.
Let's just go do Pretty Hate Machine, and then we'll save the rest for part 2. How's that sound?
I feel good about that.
The most important one feels good about it. Let's do it.
Wow.
Before we explain the Halos thing to me, other than it's Pokemon, we've got to catch them all.
You know what's funny, Evil? Is I'm sitting here thinking, how am I going to explain this to Evil? Meanwhile, Evil's giving me the best way to explain it. It's basically like a Pokemon. You have to catch them all. That's literally, there were so many fucking things that, DVDs and live sessions and this and that, but none of them were bootlegs. Like they were coming out with them. And before you all, money grubbing, beeba baba booba ba, well, just move their fans.
Yeah.
We were going to use on our album and we decided not to. Now, grain of salt, because they're already rich. They don't need the money and stuff like that. But how refreshing is that to you don't have to buy my 4th vinyl to have that 13th track on there. Here it is on the fucking internet. Just take it. Because we didn't use it on the album. Guys, I really like Nine Inch Nails. Yeah. Pretty Hate Machine is me, right? That's not... Yes, yeah.
That's you.
So, Trent Reznor. The hate is pretty and it's a machine. Trent Reznor is at Right Track Studios as an assistant engineer and janitor, everybody. What happens? He gets permission to use the studio to make... I mean, people want to say that it's the Reznor demo. I don't know how you call an album like this a demo. But what he does is he just goes ahead and he makes an album, which the owner was like, totally cool. You're not you're wasting tape, which is not expensive for me. So I don't care. Like the owner was a badass for letting him just go in at night and do it. Trent Reznor's a badass because he's like, this is the fucking musician's American dream. You fucking a janitor at a studio. First album that ends up 3 times platinum. It's number 453 on the Rolling Stones 500 Greatest Albums of All Time, which is the fucking dumbest ranking, and I fucking hate it so much. Like, hey, congratulations, you founded a genre. Here's 453 on the greatest albums. You fucking asshats. This was released through the label TVT, which here's a ongoing story with Trent Reznor. He has a lot of problems with labels. It happens quite a bit with him. But TVT sucked. They didn't really promote it. I don't know if you want to say in their defense, but it was a brand new thing, and you've heard it. It was not anything anybody was listening to at the time, unless you're talking like fucking Latin breakdance listeners in LA or something like that. Like nobody was listening to shit like this. Let's see. There are other producers. So I think there's this folklore thing that I like, that it's just like Trent's Will Hunting in the day, and then he's going in and he's fucking beep boop bopping by himself at night. No, he had producers help him with this shit. So while most people think of this as a demo, he had help by Flood, who, was a really good like hip hop producer at the time. Not hip hop, like breakbeat producer at the time. Adrian Sherwood helped him. He had helped. He recorded it in 2 months. Trent didn't like it. Trent wasn't proud of it. He thinks he's not really so much now. He thinks it's immature. I think he's an idiot because I think it's amazing. I don't want to take up too much of this because this is kind of the start of NIN, and there's so much backing with Nine Inch Nails. I'll start with Evil. Where do you stand with Pretty Hate Machine, and what do you love about it, and what do you not like about it?
The two sides of the coin is, like you said, it created an entire genre of music. So it was groundbreaking at the time.
Very.
However, listening to it, it sounds dated. Like it sounds like the bass sounds, like the bass guitar sounds, the samples, they sound like late 80s stuff. It's just organized in a way that no one had ever done before.
I think production wise it is. Like I said, there's a lot of this album that I don't know, like I really really like. There was this weird genre of music in the late 80s that was Latin. It was Mexican LA breakdancing music is what it was. And this is, a lot of that is in this, and I think it's so fucking cool. But you're right, it's breakdance music. That's kind
it makes me think of like, not the band Living Color, but In Living Color, like the TV show, like the Wayne show. It takes me back to that, like lots of neon, like what it takes me back to what was the counterculture in that time frame.
Yes.
Like, the like long hair, but like shaved around the sides and the back.
Yeah.
And like industrial looking.
White man
like,
dreadlocks. Yeah.
Yes, that very much. Like Faith No More, kind of like the early Faith No More. It takes me back to that. And also the band Living Color. It takes me back to that. And sonically, it shares a lot of, not the music, but the sonics of the production are of that time.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. I'm not like, it's not a timeless album to me. It's very much
I would
of
say
that time.
and I would say, and I think you would agree, that of that time, it was kind of the cult of personality.
Yeah.
He didn't like my dad joke. Rachel, Pretty Hate Machine. Well,
I did listen to these. Go on. What?
So you remember how I said I picked your favorite, and I said, with the exception of maybe one other one that I think was pretty verse chorus versy, it was like one of the only other Nine Inch Nails albums that was kind of their traditionally written songs. And Pretty Hate Machine to me is that. There's a lot of 3-minute, 50-second.
Love that.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I do not like the really long songs.
No.
Get it in, get it out. 3 minutes. No one? Okay.
I was holding back.
No. It's too. Sometimes they're too. No, that's not true.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Okay.
Literally, she said.
She really did. When I listened to this, I wouldn't have even thought that this was made in the 80s. This sounds, and I think it's because I know Nine Inch Nails from the 90s, from the mid, downward spirally time.
I think it also depends on the song.
Also true, because you go to Terrible Lie. I was getting It Follows kind of vibes, which I would place in the 80s.
I love it so much.
Even there's who knows when It Follows was supposed to take place. But there's so much, again, that he's created that's his sound that makes me think mid-90s, knowing that this came out in 89. He was doing so much ahead of his time that it really surprised me. Some of taking the synth, the Depeche Mode, that time synth, and making it so dark was just unheard of. And
keep making DL fall more in love with the music.
And there's, and mixing that synth with the beautiful, like you said, he's classically trained in piano, like mixing those sounds together, just chef's kiss. It's just beautiful.
I know that you talked a bunch of shit about his lyrics, but I think that this was a very cool new. The themes in this were, I'm not going to say, it's not like it hadn't been done. It was the fucking 80s, but he had these lyrical themes of like the you don't matter. You're insignificant. Your religion sucks. You suck. Like it's the Brad Pitt Fight Club monologue where he's in the back. Like, we're all finding out that we are not going to be famous, that we don't matter, and we're pissed off. Like, this was in 1989. He was singing this before it was cool, you know what I mean? And I just there's a romanticism in that I really, really fucking dig. The album didn't do well. It had terrible promotion.
Yeah.
Eventually it got cult status because of Downward Spiral. And so it went fucking 3 times platinum. Like Pretty Hate Machine, when you make something that is fucking amazing, eventually it's going to catch on. And to me, that is Hate Machine. You know, I also love that in this album, you can hear hints of what he was going to, you can hear like, what is it? Ringfinger, like Ringfinger. And that could be on Downward Spiral.
Yeah.
5 years later. I love this album so much. I love everything about this album. I agree that it sounds like the 80s. I also agree that it sounds like there are songs that sound like it could have been made now. I fucking love Pretty Hate Machine. I love everything about it.
I don't saying that it sounds dated and of the time is in no way a swipe at it from me.
Your favorite bands, those are good times.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That was pre some pretty good deaths. Rachel, what?
Great depths.
Top 10 deaths. 1980.
You boys.
Rachel, what is your favorites? I don't know. Do best or favorite, whatever. What's a best or favorite song on best? What's the best song on Pretty Hate Machine?
I think it's the same answer because I like it so much. And I said Something I Can Never Have. That
great song.
It was, like I said, with the mixing of the piano, the synth, and it sounds like it's like a love song to heroin, or heroin wrote this song. Like it's so dark and lovely. That is the best song for me.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Look, I'm wearing the shirt and it's not for this. It's because I do it at the beginning of every season. But he had a little bit of that Lane Staley in him. He had that, like, I am in love with the.
You mean heroin? He had a little bit of that heroin in him.
Yeah. He romanticized the bad shit, the darkness, evil. What's the best song on Pretty Hate Machine?
Okay, this is going to be, I'm playing my hand a little bit. I'm pretty simple when it comes to Nine Inch Nails. It's the bangers. It's the stuff that was probably...
Okay.
The stuff that was on the radio is probably what I'm going to pick for my best and favorites. It's Head Like a Hole. Like that is...
I mean, dude.
It's a good song.
It's okay.
So I did see an interview about this song, and he said that it came together in like a couple hours. That it just came to him, he wrote it, and he said he didn't earn like all of the accolades that it got because there wasn't enough agony in making it, which makes me giggle.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I just pressed a button and printed money. Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
And I get the lyric complaint, I honestly do. But 1989 to be the bow down before the one you serve, you're going to get what you deserve. Come on. That's fucking great.
That's good. This, of all the albums, I have to say, this has the best lyrics on it. But it also has some really shitty lyrics on it. But the shitty lyrics are kind of, yeah.
How dare you? I'm going not fair. I'm going best song. First off, I love your pick, Rachel, because what I was talking about, that was one of those peaks into what Trent was going to start doing. That was one of those, Head Like a Hole, Terrible Lie. They hit you and they're just these fucking industrial anthems that are going to stick with you forever. That was the subtle, like, by the way, in 30 years, I'm going to be doing scores.
Yeah.
Fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Such a variety.
I agree that the best song on this album is Head Like a Hole. You turn on track 1, side 1, and it's nothing anybody's ever heard, and it kicks you. It's fucking Depeche Mode and Skinny Puppy, and we haven't even talked, dude. Skinny Puppy, huge influence on Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah, massive.
Fucking love that band. Head Like a Hole, ladies and gentlemen. Have it. Hey, let's save the rest for next week, shall we?
Shall we?
I'm going to get more drunk. Rachel, hey, I really appreciate you joining me this evening.
No problem. No problem.
Knows that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Me and my friends, I guess.
I heard I need to pee into MP, which I was thinking like a boot camp thing. Evil, thank you for joining.
Yes. You're welcome.
That's
Just
so much
lay it
better.
out there.
Join us next week. We are going to finish off. That's what she said. We're going to talk about the rest of the albums. We're going to give our top 5 or 10 or 15 favorite Nine Inch Nails songs. We are going to rank their albums, and we are going to tell you why they are our favorite band of all time. We love you guys. Hey, we'll see you next Monday. Good night and good fucking luck. Okay, that's a damn mess. But it ended up okay, she said, with great assurances.
He's good. He's good. And I was telling,
My dog likes to do that towards the beginning, in the middle, and probably the end.
I was thinking maybe it was to help clean up, because Olive would often go to the bathroom in the house, and me and Trevor would be like, again, come on.
You didn't
But she
tell
was-
me, but I figured.
Yeah.
Next time, text a brother,
Sorry.
That's okay.
What shirt do you have?
Huh?
Gojira.
Gojira.
Evil, did you change, or you say we're in the same mood?
Rocking one of my new Unearth shirts. Oh, I'm going to see Unearth.
We're in the same shirt as last week? Weird.
What? I'm going to see
Fucking
Unearth
lame.
and In Flames and Machine Head all at the same place in
That's fucking
April.
rad.
So exciting.
Fucking 10
Las
years ago.
Vegas. Eh, Such an old
No,
man
that
show.
concert be the fucking
God, it's gonna be
shit.
so good.
The shit.
So good.
Conlon's going now, I think. So there's that. Yeah, I like him. He hates clowns.
He
by the
kissed
way.
me once when I was the most hungover I'd ever been. I'll never
Yeah.
forget that.
He'll do that. Conlon's good like that.
He walked into my room and he laid down on me and he goes, "You deserve this." And he kissed
Aw,
he kissed the shit out of me. I was like,
romance.
It was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life.
He's
I
a good
really
egg,
like that
man.
guy. He's
yeah,
a
he
good
is.
guy.
He's one of the good ones, as they say.
Yeah. Let's fucking right. God damn it.
Let's what? Missed that.
I forgot my nice cutting board upstairs. That's okay. We're gonna be
You
all right.
idiot.
We're gonna be able to do this, right? You guys
We're
ready
doing
for
it.
round 2?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
But are you sure though?
Probably.
I'm sure ish.
Yeah. Might as well.
Coming up on verse, chorus, verse. Wait, are you guys recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been.
Let's
Round
get
two.
that in. Coming up on verse, chorus, verse. How are you all tonight? Are you ready to party? You having fun? Well, that was the last fucking guys. Wrong fucking podcast. We're here to have a bad time.
Woo.
Cue the synth playing. That's next. Hi, everybody. I'm DL, and welcome to Verse, Chorus, Verse. With me is the fragile Rachel Polio. Rachel,
It's true.
I absolutely knew that that's how you were going to respond to that. How
I
are
am not
you?
offended. Fragile. Very fragile. At the breaking point.
You got 2 boot guns pointing at me. That's all right. Also with
This
us.
is a strawberry. It's a
Okay, I get it. I
It's
know
got
the shit.
guns.
I've seen it.
It's
I
a good
like
one.
it.
Thanks.
Not because
God.
cut that out, David. Also with us is evil, spiraling downward Jimmy. That was the last one. JK girlfriend, evil, pretty kettlebell machine Jimmy. Evil.
I like that.
Mm.
I like that. I thought maybe you might play off of her being fragile and me being broken.
Next time. That was
Well,
good.
if you want to just start saying things that would have been better, that's fine. We can make that super fun.
Do you
for
want to lead the podcast?
I'm going to rename it Verse,
Evil.
Chorus, Verse.
How many?
Sometimes
how many
that's what it
total
feels
have
like.
You had? 'Cause I've had almost one. Like a true chorus.
What? A chorus? It's sometimes listening to music is a chore. It's verse, chorus, verse.
No.
No,
Look,
not today.
I studied for so long on Nine Inch Nails that it went from a chore to I had like a fucking awakening. I had like a
Kundalini.
so I would recommend listening to them for a week longer. Like just really, really get into it. Oh, guys, I am knee deep, ankle deep into a Four Loko. I'm a little drunk. We are on to episode 2 of 9 Inch Nails. I'm a happy boy. Look, I'd apologize to Rachel and Evil for, you know what they say, 3 for them, 1 for me, but I felt like Trent had been ignored for long enough and it was time.
That's
And I'm
fair.
very,
yeah,
thank you.
I agree.
Thank you.
Maybe not the first episode of the season.
Yeah,
No, the first.
Just
It's a
ease
bit.
See, the
back in.
problem, here's the
it's
thing.
not easy.
I had to kind of, this is what happened is last year we did 94. Go back, take a listen. We did, the amazing music of 94, Rachel and Evil will tell you of which is the best year of all time
Ever.
for albums to be released.
True. That is a fact.
Shadowing, we've got some fun things ahead to see if that's true, but we'll get to that later on in the season. But one of the things that is a big deal with 94 is the Downward Spiral, a pretty groundbreaking album, if I do say so myself. And I kind of had to sit on my laurels all year. I was okay with Downward Spiral. Loco is 4. I was okay with the Downward Spiral not being number 1 or number 2, nay, even number 3, because maybe I think that there's more to Nine Inch Nails than the Downward Spiral. And so I decided that we needed to get into it.
That's
and
fair.
What we're doing now. Evil with the Unearthed shirt.
Yes.
We've talked everything about Nine Inch Nails except for most of the albums, but we did talk about 1989's Pretty Hate Machine, which you said was very much of the times, while Rachel said that she completely disagrees and thinks you're... Did she make you rethink your position?
No, not at all. I'm right.
Rachel, same question.
No, I did not change my mind. Evil's an idiot.
At what point in this podcast, we're almost 5 years in, will you guys acknowledge that you have absolutely nothing in common and I can start watching you guys fight? Because I'm really looking forward to that happening, and it hasn't happened yet.
We're best friends. It's not going to happen.
That's what's weird. Is you guys you're too nice. I want you to be less nice because you have nothing in common.
To be fair, we're just nice to each other.
Yeah, you're not nice to me.
No.
Exactly.
The enemy of my enemy,
That's
whatever, something like that.
How God wanted it. Yes.
We have, it's shared adversity is what she and I
Yeah.
have going for us.
Bow down before the one you serve. Let's get to talking Nine Inch Nails. We are on part 2. We're having a good time, and we've still got a lot of fucking work to do. So let's get to it. Let's get to the most important part of the night. What are we bare naked ladying? Not Blues Travelers, Rachel. Rachel.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
No. Actually, I'm going to start with Evil because I know for a fact he's drinking the same thing. I have a feeling Rachel might be too, but I don't know because I haven't seen it. Evil, what are you drinking?
I'm having the second half of the smoke screen that I made a whole week ago,
Oof.
which was just
How does that keep?
a couple hours ago.
Wait,
What? Huh?
you're on the same drink?
Same drink? No, not the same. Okay, I mixed a double and poured half, put the other half in the fridge.
We call him Whole Pitcher Jimmy.
I made a batch for the podcast.
Is a double a batch?
Yeah.
Have you gotten soft in your old
Batch-ish.
age? I mean, come on.
No.
I don't know. This is pretty middle discography Nine Inch Nails of you, Jimmy, to only be on your second drink of the night.
That's funny. and also true.
Rachel, what
David.
are you drinking?
Just straight Grey Goose out of this 30-ounce cup.
Are you only drinking water?
No, I still got a little bit of drink. I should
Okay.
bust open another one. A little Diet Coke vodka.
It's weird. It's like we just had a 10-minute break to go ahead and go do that.
It's been a week.
Okay.
We just left all the same stuff on our desk.
Hi, vey. You people. What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
You people.
What am I drinking, you ask?
Yes.
I am drinking, and I've never had it before. I've never tasted it. I'm about to taste it now. Let's see how we...
The rare 5.
I still have a little Four Loko, and best believe I'm drinking it. And Trent, while I'm drinking that, Trent Regner singing about fucking me in the back of his car. Sorry, guys. Holy fuck.
This is so good.
That is amazing.
You're such a
This
good bartender.
God, this is a Gypsy Eye. I took this recipe out of the Death and Company
Ooh.
recipe book, which is unbelievable. It is, sorry, I don't have it in front of me. I probably so goddamn good, but I don't. Sorry. It is 2 ounces of Beefeater, is half an ounce of Aperol, it is half an ounce of lime, there's a little bit of grapefruit juice, and I think like 1/4 of an ounce of simple syrup for the sweet. And then, and I green chartreuse. You put a little bit of green chartreuse just to, you put it around the rim and then dump it out. Why am I evil? What's that called?
Rinse.
A rinse. Thank you. You rinse with green. Don't do a rinse. You
Oh, I'm doing that.
Idiot.
You fucking imbecile. Yes, it's a rinse of green chartreuse. Not all of us have a fancy schmancy atomite. God damn, that is fucking amazing. Have you had one
I'll
of
have
those?
to try it. No, I haven't made that one yet.
Yeah.
It's in there. Is that in the first book, the black book?
It's in the black one. Yeah.
Okay. I'll make that. I think I'll use a different gin, but I have everything else.
I think the recipe might even call for, because I know that Death and Company does Beefeater. Beefeater is a good cheap gin.
There's no such thing.
The last drink that I had, this is way more up your alley. This was full transparency, was late. I recorded my What Are We Listening To stuff tonight, and this was 2 ounces Botanist, a little bit of lime, a little bit of grapefruit, and some club soda.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That'll
my
do.
God, like,
Sounds delicious.
right? It is. I win, you lose. This drink is fucking amazing. Go drink a fucking Gypsy Eye. Not a real one, like a drink of it, Do you guys want to talk some NIN?
Might as well.
We'll take a break and we'll get into their most famous album of ever. We'll be right back.
Well, okay.
Is that that's true, right?
You put Broken on the outline. Did you listen to
That
Broken?
works. Hey, I changed my mind. I've decided we are back. I've decided we should cover Broken quickly.
Might as well.
Like, if I were to bolden the letters quick, I would. And I would say, let's cover it because technically it is an EP, but it was a very, very important album for Nine Inch Nails, because on September of 1992, Nine Inch this, and it was basically Trent Reznor, fuck you, to his really shitty record label. The label was saying that the follow-up to Pretty Hate Machine needed to be easily digestible synth pop, and Reznor was like, no, go fuck yourself. I want it heavier and industrialer. And they fought and fought and fought. Because of that, the EP was kept under wraps nobody promoted it. The label refused to promote it. And if anybody, does anybody want to talk at all? Am I stealing thunder, or
I have thought.
no? Okay, I always feel like I'm talking too much. The stalemate was eventually broken because Interscope, who was the founder of Interscope? Jimmy Levine.
Yeah.
Partnered with TVT and bought the contract and was like, holy fuck, this is really good. So they put it to VHS and did all the bootleg VHS, poor image quality, tape duplications of the videos, and the videos for Broken that came along with the album, which perversely was kind of why the label really thought that it might sell, was for an official release. But Reznor was also like, fuck that, I'm also going to release them. So yeah, those have been, I don't know if the official word is leaked, the Broken and the videos, but this was kind of the start of that period where Nine Inch Nails was very very graphic, very parent scary. What do you,
yeah.
Everything was, who's the author that Thomas he was very Thomas Aquinas at this point. He was all and the 7 Depths of Hell and really weird fucking shit. Evil, what did you think about the Broken EP?
Okay. It's very interesting that this is in our outline for discussing albums, this is the only EP.
It's also, it's really long for an EP.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm using the term EP loosely here because it's close to 32 minutes.
Yeah.
There are albums that are shorter than that, full release albums. So I'm curious why you picked this one versus maybe some of the later EPs to feature.
Broken to me was, for a Nine Inch Nails fan, Broken was way too important to leave out of talking about Nine Inch Nails. Like Broken was
So the history of it.
Yeah, I think if you
Yeah.
talk to a lot of obsessive Nine Inch Nails fans, a lot of them are going to say that the most important albums are Pretty Hate Machine and Broken. So here we are.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair.
You're fair.
Last episode, I said that I feel like Trent is at his best when he's pared down. This is a prime example of that for me.
Okay.
It also rocks. Like in their catalog, this is one of the most rocking collection of songs.
That's true.
Yeah.
Shit.
What?
Is this your favorite Nine Inch Nails album?
We'll talk about that at some point.
God damn it.
What a day.
Threw him off so much, he's quitting the podcast.
What?
It's just me and you, Evil.
Okay, sorry about that. Has to happen once every episode.
It's
So Evil loves Broken,
I like it.
but it doesn't count. So in your face. Rachel, what'd you think?
I guess I didn't know the whole history of like kind of forcing the hand of making this album. And it makes
Okay.
me really appreciate the work that they put into it, I guess. I feel like there's a lot of people when record labels saying, you know, you owe us another album before we let you go. They're kind of like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to put out what I'm going to put out then. But this was good. And so that's kind of surprising to me that that's what happened.
Well, because this wasn't the label. This was Trent. This was Trent saying, this is what I'm going to make. And the label's like, no, I don't want this. And Trent was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is what I'm making. And that, to me, okay. Trent has this, Jesus, me no talk good, too much life, brain
He's up
cell
to
die.
6 loco at this point.
He has a reputation for being, you know, poor you're rich and you're going to fight with your labels and shit like that. But no, it's because that he will fight for the shit that other people don't want to fight over. You know, if a lot of other artists, if a label says, hey, you need to change these 2 songs because it's this. Trent was like, fuck that. I'm not going to do like, oh, I have a contract. I don't care. Like, sue me. And that's why I like Trent, is because Broken was his. And to me, I don't give a fuck. I'm not changing this fucking album. So there's my tangent. It's Trent. Rach, do you have a favorite song on it?
I do. It is Wish.
Wish is good.
It's good, and it had kind of punk rocky vibes to it that I was into. That's my favorite.
It's still got that early NIN. It's got that early kind of Crow soundtracky 9 Inch Nails sort of thing. Yeah. My favorite song is the one right after it, Last, which it just rocks. It just it's guitar driven 9 Inch Nails, which, hey.
Thank you.
Evil. Why is that also your favorite song?
Because it fucking rocks.
You want to know why? Is because it sounds like he's hair metal for a second in there.
Damn, Skippy.
You said that like it was a bad thing.
No, I'm saying that's why you love it so much.
Yes, it is. It's so good.
Yes. Yes, it is. Let's go to 1994's Downward Spirals of Evil. Let's let him reigns and find out what happens when Trent Reznor refuses Prozac and sticks with good old-fashioned drugs.
So, okay. The details. It was recorded between 93 and 94. Is that correct? Yes. Released in March of 1994. If you know anything about Nine Inch Nails, this is one of the biggest, if not their biggest album, blah, blah, blah. We covered it last year.
It's their biggest.
What
sure.
I had no idea about was the recording studio in the home where the Manson murders, right? I was like, my mind fucking blew up when I found out about that. I was like, Holy shit. And also Broken was partially recorded there as well. Like he moved into that home during that process and then continued over into this. That fucking blew my mind. We covered it last episode, how maybe it seemed like a good idea at the time, but then he wound up running into Sharon Tate's sister, who actually brought it back down to earth for him a bit. And he's like, oh, maybe I didn't look at it the right way. Regardless, holy fuck, was there some art made in that home.
Yeah.
This could have easily have been last season when we talked about 94. This could have been the top album. I would not have had a problem with that. And also going back to what I said last episode about my sort of like position on the band, I've always been kind of like a fan from a distance. I'm not like super emotionally involved in Nine Inch Nails. They're not one of my favorites, but I remember this being absolutely huge, being on MTV, the controversy, the censorship of stuff, what you said, one of the most famous song lines of the 90s, like everything about it. This is like pinnacle Nine Inch Nails for me.
I don't look for there's any young people listening. I can't. Never mind. I'll cut that out. There was a point in time where the most famous song in the world had the line, I want to fuck you like an animal, and it played on the radio fucking 38 times a day.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. That's
I wanna feel you
insane.
from the inside. I mean, and then the video that went along with it, which
God,
Jesus
good
Christ,
God.
man.
Yeah. And then 7 came out and it had the
Right?
remix of like, God damn.
Well, and
We were fucking
okay, so
weird.
singles were March of the Pigs. Like that's a
Great song.
pretty ballsy lead single. You know?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, fuck, there's so much to talk about. We could do a double episode on this album.
We totally could.
So, and
We
I'm like,
absolutely
I don't want to, go down a spiral on this album because we have other stuff to talk about too much.
It just take us downward and it's just not,
I honestly, I don't know how to approach it in the context of this episode. That's like, I don't know what all to cover from this album, because when you write a song that Johnny Cash decides to cover, you're fucking doing something right.
Yeah. 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 Well, not only does he, I'm not gonna go there either.
Do it. I dare you do it.
Not only is Johnny Cash not only is Johnny Cash going to cover it, but he's going to cover it, and the original is way the fuck better.
Way? Whoa.
I think it's way better.
I think it's better, but I don't know if it's way better. That's
There's my hot take.
that's a hot take. Now, okay, there's a lot of references to the word pig in the songs for this album. I know a lot of that's referring to record industry and stuff, but also with Le Pig being this place and the context of what that is, it's so fucked up, but it's also so creative at the same time. I'm a mixed bag of emotions when it comes to this piece of art. Going back to, here, this is something that I've been kind of waiting to bring up, because we've talked about Trent as a musician and his knowledge, his music theory. He's classically trained in piano. He obviously knows what the fuck he's doing musically. He operates as a producer.
Yes.
Technically, but he is a producer in the role of an artist, which is kind of a unique thing. He then brings in producers to produce what he's doing, but he's really, I mean, his sort of like superpower is like the technology of music. Like was super well versed in like Apple computers and Pro Tools and shit like that, which, I mean, for like kids today, where that's just the norm of music, back then that was not the norm.
That's what they do. That's the norm. But yeah,
right.
Fuck,
so he was pioneering.
That was an insane way of thinking.
Right. To the point of having like an icon of music in Adrian Belew come in and play guitar parts that he then sampled and fucked with. And like he was, I mean, just a genius approach to music making. I think the progression from Pretty Hate Machine through the EPs in between, we'll call Broken an EP. I think that's a full release, but whatever. To this is such a giant leap in creativity. It's mind-blowing.
Did you guys look up, do you guys know what the beginning of the song Eraser is? You know that weird fucking noise that sounds like an eraser? You know what that is? That's him breathing through the fucking the whatever it's, the mouthpiece of of a saxophone. Like the reed of a saxophone.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck thinks of doing something like that and making it a fucking beat? Like,
Yeah.
the shit he was doing was in this album. And that's like, it's easy to say that like Pretty Hate Machine was the groundbreaker, and this was a huge stepping stone into what else he would do. I do like, this is the most popular album. It has it has the most sales and stuff because of the songs that are, it's got fucking Hurt and Closer on it. So it's going to be
right.
This is the album. This is the Nine Inch Nails album. That's just how it is. The thing about Downward Spiral, and honestly, like, it probably makes it a better album, but the ambience is so mood specific. Like, I am dark and I can turn a lot of Nine Inch Nails on in the background and happily be like working, but not fucking Downward Spiral. Like Downward Spiral, like I was doing that last week, and I'm at work, and all of a sudden I'm fucking grinding my teeth, and it's Downward Spiral is a fucked up album.
Well,
and I mean that in a great way.
Yeah, it's a concept album. Like, it's the story of this, I don't even want to call it a protagonist, but like, it's following this character through a literal mental downward spiral.
Love it.
Of like killing God, like the depravity of self-destruction in any way, shape, or form, ultimately with like a suicide attempt. That's the story of this album. It's all of human darkness as a story, the downward spiral. I mean, that's what it is. It's uncomfortable as fuck.
It's uncomfortable as fuck. And I'll keep defending the lyrics because when Heresy turns on and he's screaming in the chorus, God is dead and no one cares. If there's a hell, I'll see you there. Look, I'm not saying that that's fucking like subtle songwriting, Bob Dylan shit.
No,
but
there's no subtlety there.
To be screaming that at people in 1994 and have, fucking the gores that like
Tipper Gore
fucking having a fucking aneurysm, that's it. Look, I take comfort in that, okay? That's all I'm saying. Rach, what's the best fucking song on Downward Spiral?
I said...
Wait.
Hold, time out. Hold on. I cannot fucking believe I picked this as her favorite.
You're a dumb dummy.
It does have the biggest hits.
It has the hits, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Time back in.
However, so and Evil didn't know this, David did. I was so terrified of Nine Inch Nails when I was a kid. Closer was terrifying. Like, it felt evil. It felt like really, really dark.
Isn't that something a little... like now, isn't that a little exciting? Isn't that a little, like, for music, isn't that something that's like, holy fuck, if that's doing that to me, that's pretty fucking badass.
I feel like I like it even less after listening to the whole thing, knowing where it was recorded, and in like a weird, like hippy dippy, like spiritual way. Like, I think it was so dark because of where it was recorded.
Let's talk about hippies.
Yeah. Ooh.
No.
David. So I really struggled with this one more than the other ones.
But we're just such different people, Rach.
I know. It never
that
work
doesn't
out.
make you. That doesn't like make you fucking respect it. That doesn't make you be like, fuck, man. Like this is
No.
that's the
So
wrong word.
no. I very much understand the art of this. Like this, I don't think this could have been
Well put.
created anywhere else. I think that there was so much influence from the space that he was around and from the time. And like I said, it is art. It is really, really, really well done. It is terrifying to me still.
Look, one of the great fuck ups of verse, chorus, verse is that I didn't make this the fucking DL's 10 out of 10s just so that we could talk about this album in the next. That's fucking dumb. I don't know. Your guys' boss is a fucking retard. Your guys' boss is an idiot.
Yes.
He's
Edit
both.
that out, David. Fucking YouTube. Well, hey.
They know everything.
Let's talk about 1999's follow-up.
No!
To Down.
Whoa.
No! Rewind. Let's talk about our
JK
favorite songs.
Girlfriend, let's talk about Rachel's favorite song on.
We're on 7 Loco at this point.
Hey,
I said
you know what you signed up for.
I said Hurt. And my reasoning is why I have a second one. My reasoning is because if it weren't for this Hurt, there wouldn't be Johnny Cash's Hurt. And Johnny Cash's Hurt is so much better that even Trent Reznor believes that it's better than his version of it. So
Let me tell you something. Last year, on Instagram, I posted thinking that I would get controversial, like the thumbs down, the fucking hate comments. Downward Spiral, I posted it because we were talking about it on 94, and I said, hot take, Downward Spiral version of Hurt, better than Johnny Cash's. The comments were all, that's not a hot take, I agree.
I have thoughts.
Look,
on
Johnny
that.
Cash's version was fantastic, but what Trent Reznor did with fucking Hurt is a deep. What are your thoughts, Evil? I want to hear your thoughts.
So, okay. It depends on if you're
I don't
just.
know. I'm listening to it now. It's fucking good, man.
It is. It is.
You might be right, Rachel. This might be the.
It's okay.
Not the Johnny Cash thing, just that it's the best song on the album. God, sorry. Okay, I actually, Evil, I'm actually going to let you talk now.
are you?
I swear.
think-
I swear to God.
Where Johnny Cash's version has a leg up is its pairing with the video that he made with it.
Well, and it's the story. It
tells
point
his
in
life story.
It's
Yes.
yeah.
So it's maybe
It's
it's
not
like
fair.
pulling on the heartstrings a little bit, but
A little bit.
a little bit. But here's the thing is that's an echo. Listen to Closer and then listen to Closer while watching the director's cut of the video. You're going to have two very fucking different experiences.
Okay.
So I think the visual is valid in Johnny Cash's version because, like I said, Nine Inch Nails music there's a visual component for me that is missing
got
when
a
I'm
favorite.
just listening to it.
I like the take.
My favorite, I gave Closer and Hurt a tie, but if you're just listening to them, if you're watching the video to Closer, that is one of the fucking wildest things that you will ever experience. That is some Hieronymus Bosch level artistic perfection.
Good take. Good call out. Well, and for those of us that were times seeing that, like, I don't know
Dude.
what, I'll just call it the 7 art form.
Yes.
The
Like-
weird bondage sepia tone fucking, like, whatever the fuck it was.
With
From
like
that-
weird skulls, the heart in the chair
And
like
like
blowing out
the
steam.
fast forward slow motion.
Yeah,
like,
the celluloid film like burning, the
God damn.
microphone silhouette that looks like a fucking has a nipple on it, like it's a boob. Dude, that might be the best video. Hard stop.
I don't.
And it's also icky at the same time, which makes it dangerous.
That's the thing is, what's funny is Rachel's talking about how, like, I just wasn't like Too Innocent couldn't handle it and stuff like that. Dude, I wanted more than anything to be like the fucking I've been through the shit. I experienced things as a kid. I know what's up. That video terrified the fuck out of me. Like I don't think I was comfortable with that video at all.
Dude, the weird, like naked bald chick with the eggs spinning on her devil horns.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man? Come on.
You know, having never seen this video, hearing you boys talk about it is...
You've never seen the video?
Oh my God.
I can't watch it. I tried to watch part of it,
The
and I
weird,
still
like,
I can't get through it.
the whatever skull it is, the monkey on the cross, the fucking cockroaches
You have to think-
everywhere.
Like, even the song scares me
Dude.
still. Like, I'm not going to double up.
It is fever dream nightmare fuel. The
Yeah.
goggles he has.
You can't
the-
unsee
the-
it.
The like air pressure doing the weird shit with his mouth.
Yeah.
The fucking dirty
God,
toilets.
yeah.
Dude.
So,
And then him just
I-
like spinning, hanging.
yes. So here's the thing. I got
It
really
is
into
it's
this
like a
album when I was young, and there's the songs like Reptile and things like that are just they're, to me, those are even more decrepit than Closer, or at least equivalent. But I think the best song on this, the song that really fucking captures what Downward Spiral is trying to do, is The Becoming. You come into that song, and it's this super eerie, evil, low piano and synth tone, and then these fucking weird
screams.
level themes are parts of the song. It is the most demented fucking shit you're ever gonna hear, and I think that song's perfect in the most fucked up way. It really is. Listeners, I should have chosen this album to talk about for 2 hours next week. I didn't. I apologize. Fuck you guys. Who gives a shit? Go to hell. Let's talk about Rachel's album that she picked to discover, if you will, The Fragile.
Fragile. So I wrote a review for this one. So, The Fragile. The album that distills the angst of youth into a 2-hour sonic roller coaster that feels like being stuck in an elevator with your therapist after a particularly unsettling epiphany. Clocking in at a depressive 1 hour and 45 minutes, this album is long enough to make you forget your problems while impressively finding new ones to ponder. Musically, it ventures into ambient territory, blending electronic beats with atmospheric soundscapes, much like soothing rain paired with the distant screams of existential dread. Lyrically, it dives into alienation and despair with tracks like I'm Looking Forward to Joining You, Finally, while The Wretched serves as a reminder to everyone, reminder that everyone else seems to have their life together and you're still trying to figure out how to boil water without burning it. The tour for this album was self-funded, a testament to Reznor's commitment even amid lukewarm sales. Despite that, The Fragile has garnered a cult following with fans listening on repeat while contemplating the futility of existence. So pour yourself a cup of something strong, curl up in a blanket, and embrace the beautifully bleak journey of The Fragile. This was...
Okay, go. Say that
So,
again.
a little bit of overview of this album outside of that review. This was released 21st of September 1999 through Nothing and Interscope Records, produced by Trent and Reznor as well as Alan Moulder collab.
Yeah.
It was recorded over
Fucking
2
Alan
years
Moulder,
in
baby.
New Orleans.
Where was it recorded, though? No.
New Orleans.
This is the fucking NOLA era of fucking Trent Reznor, baby.
You sound very echoey now. Not that I mind, but it's just different.
God damn it.
All right, Rachel, I want you to get into it more. I just want you to tell me where this album was recorded.
This album was recorded in New Orleans.
The era of 9 Inch Nails. I just love that he was sitting there after Interview with the Vampire in New Orleans doing his whole dark fucking, I gotta do the decrepit absinthe fucking 90s. Okay, go ahead.
No. So
Sorry.
I'm trying to hit the highlights. I have thousands of words here.
Yeah, it's okay.
Fun fact, Somewhat Damaged was cited in a CIA document as one of the tracks played to detainees at Guantanamo Bay. It was used as a torture song. Isn't that fun? So this Interscope, again, nobody wants to fund
Do you know
promotion.
how proud I am of the fact that like one of my favorite songs of all time is used as torture?
Yeah. That's fun. Interscope didn't want to fund this. Nobody ever wants to fund them. So Trent Reznor financed it himself and sold out all the shows. He did great.
Yeah, he did.
On that. This is a substantial artistic achievement for them, blending more music, more musical styles, pushing boundaries. However, when it came out, there were a lot of mixed reviews on it.
Always are.
Pitchfork said it was overly melodramatic and lacked melody and coherence. I get the melodramatic. I could see that.
I just love that somebody would turn on a Nine Inch Nails album and be like, this is a little melodramatic.
It's a little overboard.
What were you looking for, motherfucker?
Yeah. People also said that it favored surface appeal over memorable songwriting, which, you know, as far as lyrically, may lean on that a little bit. However, it did debut at the Billboard 200. I think it did because people were like, oh, Downward Spiral, that was a good one. And so everyone bought this and was listening to it the first week, and then it quickly dropped to number 16 because people were like, it's not Downward Spiral. However, it still certified double platinum by January of 2000. So it still did well. However, this was right when file sharing happened. So those numbers, it's kind of tough because the commercial performance and as far as sales get a little skewed with people stealing music at the time. But this still has a bit of a cult following to it. Yeah, that's what I got.
Bit of a cult following. Like, people fucking love this album. This is, I feel like for Nine Inch Nails fans, this one is kind of the, I don't know, fan favorite or whatever you want to call it. Evil, what do you think about The Fragile?
This album has what I think is the best and the worst of Nine Inch Nails on it. And it's because it is very self-indulgent.
A bit melodramatic.
There are these long, almost interstitial tracks, like sometimes back to back. And I'm like, get to the fucking point, because the point is amazing.
Yeah.
When it gets to the point, it is fucking amazing. It's a double album. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the problem.
So much.
If it was pared down, I think it would be phenomenal. But it's the fucking around in between. There's just too much of it. And this is where I was like, oh, this is going to be a fucking slog listening to the entire catalog. Once I got to this album. Because here's the thing. Now, I'll walk some of this back. If we were covering just this album by itself, and this was all I had to listen to for 2 weeks, I would probably be like, this is one of the greatest albums ever written. However, in the grand scheme of things where I don't have that time to do it, it's not. So I am guilty as charged and completely susceptible to Stockholm Syndrome. I could totally be proven wrong with this album. And I get it. Listen, it's the same thing with like Tool fans. Like Tool fans have the same sort of, like, some of those albums have some serious bullshit on them in between the awesome moments.
Yes.
The awesome moments are some of the best music ever. Same thing. And if this is for you and this is your shit, fucking more power. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying, like, get to the fucking point, man. I mean, you couldn't, if this album was released today, people would not have the time for it.
Very true. I think so. We talked about Downward Spiral, and I think that if Downward Spiral is the Fight Club, like, we're just finding we're not great and we're pissed off about it speech, then this album is the No Country for Old Men, like, the world is evil and there's no turning back, there's no looking at anything, just accept it and be fucking bummed about it. Like, that's what The Fragile is to me. Is, you know, Trent calmed down and he realized that he wanted to be more eerie than, you know, less fuck you like an animal and more all the insides are cold and gray kind of thing. He also went I feel like the score thing started to bud here. The build into, I am more about soundscapes and ambiance and how to, like Evil has said a couple times, how to paint a picture, how to put something behind a visual.
Yeah, I 1000% agree. This is very, very soundscapey. And what's interesting is this is coming off of the heels of, in terms of releases, of him working with David Lynch on Lost Highway and recording The Perfect Drug, which is like about as concise and perfect as you can get as a Nine Inch Nails song.
We'll get to that later.
But it's interesting that after that experience with David Lynch, who like came to him and would give him some like seriously bizarre cues on what he wanted for like sounds for Lost Highway, he would, I mean, just look it up. I'm not going to do it justice. Like David Lynch would give Trent like some seriously bizarre like words to work with.
Shocking. In
terms, right. R.I.P. David Lynch, by the way. Anyways, it's not a big surprise that Trent then goes into this exploration of more theatrical soundscapes. It's just interesting that his song for Lost Highway is The Perfect Drug, which is the best fucking song. Yeah. And now he's off doing like weird ass like score level shit as an album.
I didn't even put the two together from David Lynch from yesterday. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. So with the Fragile, I don't know. The Fragile is sneaky to me because you don't, when you're listening to Nine Inch Nails and you hear Broken and Pretty Hate Machine and Downward Spiral, and then you get to this, and it does have the songs that are bangers and that are gonna rock you and things. Then you realize once you get to like the very end of the album, when you get to, what is it, La Mer, where you realize that this guy is more like, these are themes that have been transpiring through this whole album, and he's been combining them all kind of into one. And you're right, it's incredibly long, but this is one of those albums that look, here's what I realized these last couple weeks is that I don't know if I'm fucking demented or what, but Rachel vigorously shakes her head. Yes. I love this as background work music. I can fucking work my ass off with this in the background. It's amazing. Rachel, what's the best song on The Fragile?
The best song on The Fragile is, why don't I? Well, it's because it's so fucking long. I had to scroll. We're in this together. What? I think it's very appropriate for the time. I think it's got you can hear the depression and the sadness in it and the anger of the 90s. So I think that I like that one the best.
Yeah, you know what I love about Trent Reznor, and he does it a few times, is if you listen to the lyrics to We're in This Together, it should be some fucking, major chord like, you and me, we're in this together. Yeah. Nothing can stop us now. And
that's not the case.
Fucking violently, angrily screaming it at this person.
Yeah.
Like, he fucking love that so much. Evil, what is the best song on The Fragile?
Same. Because we are in this together. We're in this together.
Best friends.
None of us can stop us now. We will make it through season 5 somehow. It's my favorite too. I fucking love the song We're in This Together. I think it's a brilliant song. I'm not kidding. You don't hear that. I'm making a joke, but it's like, seriously, the whole angrily We're in This Together thing, it's fucking cool. And I like that he does it. And here we go. 2005's Teeth would be the next album, but we're not going to cover that until...
But I think it's important to note that this is when Atticus comes along.
That's not important. Let's move on.
It's the least important thing that could have happened.
Exactly. What we'll do is we will take a break and we will move on to year 0 and finish off for Probably an hour. I don't know. We'll see. The problem is that none of them have been drinking Four Loko, and I have been drinking so many Four Loko. We'll take a
So
break.
many. 8
We'll
Loco.
be right back. All right. Are you? Nah, actually, I'm gonna go to the restroom. In your face.
Hey,
Hey.
did you get snacks?
I did.
Nice. Hey, buddy. Just chilling.
But like what though?
What?
Like what though? So not like a villain then.
No, not really.
What you drinking?
Drinking.
Yeah, Rach.
What?
I feel like you're not drinking. It's really upsetting. We are back. Let's talk about 2000 year zero, 2 years after with Teeth. I guess it's nobody's. I guess it's mine. It's the 5th album. It is Alan Moulder, I hope, mixing and engineering. I don't know. The problem with Year Zero is that it got a couple of pretty bad reviews. Spin was really bad. Spin shat on it. And this is back in 2007. So my goodness, did that matter. This was the last album with Interscope due to, surprise, a conflict between the artist and the label, not liking each other because of fucking overseas shit or whatever. This album in Year Zero was pretty political for, I don't know, feels a little bit after the time, but I'm not being political. It just feels like it would have been more hip to do it earlier. He's always been really good of the anti-religion, afraid of Americans. This is the one that's pretty blatantly, U.S. politics will make us fools, and we're all gonna die a bloody death. I don't know. Songs like Good Soldier, there's really, really good 9 Inch Nails in this. It's very, here's the thing about good 2000s 9 Inch Nails is cool. It's really cool. If I may be so bold. Evil, what are your opinions on the album Year Zero?
So after I listened to the albums in chronological order, preparing for this. The Fragile broke me. And so afterwards, this was like, it felt really easy to listen to. And I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. I didn't feel challenged by it. Now we're withholding with Teeth, but this felt, so I like pretend like we didn't listen to it. This felt just, not safe, it felt less experimental. It just felt like less 9 Inch Nails.
You did push the button and sorry, Rach.
I got scared.
This 9 Inch Nails is not for you.
Yeah. So the reason that I liked this is because this was the first album with Atticus Ross.
Beyond with Teeth.
Yes. So this is the first album without Alan on it, or without Alan producing it.
Moulder.
We're on a first name.
But no, you said he wasn't on it.
Oops. He wasn't producing it.
Yeah, he engineered it though.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Oh, did he engineer it?
Yeah, I don't. This is weird, fucking 9 Inch Nails shit. I think, but no. Sorry, I feel like I don't want to. I'm not wronging your right.
Okay.
Keep going.
And I love a concept album, so I actually really enjoyed this one, and it wasn't terrifying. But I think everybody just hated George W. so much that they're like, let's write about this.
Isn't it weird that it's 2000? No, it's not weird that it's 2000.
2007, that was, I don't know what this came out. When did this come out? April. So this was right before Katrina. Katrina was in the summer, right?
Okay, I forgot it. I was thinking 9/11, not Katrina. Now we're making more sense. Okay. Look, I love this vibe of 9 Inch Nails. I really do. I love it. But at the same time, I'll like what Evil was saying. I almost don't like how ordinary of an agenda it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this, that's not 9 Inch Nails. 9 Inch, why the would? Here's the thing. If you are all about the nothingness and the everythingness and the you get me closer to God, why do you give a fuck about politics? Like, but why does politics matter?
Because you're rich and you can't think about what to write about anymore.
Slam a pajama.
I mean, I mean, is this at this point? I'm not familiar enough. Is this Jacked and Tan? Trent Reznor?
Not
Is
yet.
he not quite yet?
Not yet.
All right.
He's getting there, but not yet.
Okay.
He's not jacked and tan yet.
When? Okay. Oh man, I have a new theory formulating.
Interesting. Does it have to do with how he got jacked and tanned?
No. But also yes.
He went to one of Evil's kettlebell trainings, obviously.
Ooh.
Rach, what's the best song on Year Zero?
Ooh, it's definitely what's the soldier one? Good Soldier.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Hands
You
down.
don't think they push the button and the muffin in the office and the... All right, Evil.
Oh my god.
Evil, what's
This is Nine Loco, David.
What's your favorite song? Year Zero.
I think survivalism. No.
No, they're both really good songs. Actually, that's the thing. Year Zero is a good fucking album. I honestly think it. And I'm making fun of it and stuff, but it's cool. 9 Inch Nails, and I say that like it's a fucking like a nerd calling a fucking jock. I don't know.
Doesn't it feel safe a little bit?
Sure. Doesn't mean it's not good.
Perfect. That's perfect. It feels safe.
Yeah.
You're right. It doesn't mean it's not good, but for somebody that's as cool as me, it might be a little bit of a bad thing. My favorite, no. The best song, Year Zero, is Capital G. That song's fucking rad.
It's my favorite. I don't think it's the best.
So opposite. I think it's the best. I don't think it's my favorite. You can watch it on the television. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to, there's an album that came out in 2008 by 9 Inch Nails called The Slip. Rachel, did you listen to it?
Yeah, I listen to everything.
What'd you think about it?
Eh.
She met it. That was a hardcore meh.
I didn't spend a ton of time on this one. They did some really fun time signature-y things and stuff with tempo on this one that I was super into. Head Down had it. Demon Seed also. So
Okay.
it was good. There wasn't a lot of standout on this one for me.
What did you think about Tooth Lip?
It's the most immediate album, meaning
What's
like
that mean?
Like most listenable album.
Okay.
And not like Year Zero felt like safe, easy to listen to. This was just more like I kind of like this, but maybe the depth isn't there.
Interesting. Okay. So if Year Zero was safe, then to you the Slip was what, just like
Might be
bad?
a little not bad. I think it's a facade. I like the facade of it. I don't know if there's much underneath it.
Okay. So he's starting to LARP himself?
Yeah. It's yes, very much. It's a little like we're yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I don't feel challenged by either of them. I feel like Year Zero is really safe in a bad way. This is more familiar. Instead of safe, this feels more familiar, which is kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
I liked it a little bit more because I don't know.
I just think that look, there's complex riffs in this. I think there's a great mixture of the simple old, songs like Echoplex have this kind of 80s breakbeat, Pretty Hate Machine thing mixed with the Year Zero contemporary stuff. There's no song that just like fucking comes out and grabs you until like Lights in the Sky or whatever, and then I think this album is very sneaky, but it's weird. It's one of those albums that I enjoy, but I wouldn't tell somebody like, hey, you gotta fucking,
exactly.
you need to get this album. Evil, no, I'll go first. The best song on this, man. I like quite a few songs on this album. No spoilers, but I will say I think A Million is great. I love the whole doing the 199,000 track and then into the A Million, which just like bap 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 bap. I really love that. So I will say that I think that is the best song on the album. Evil, what's the best song The
Man,
not
I
the
don't
flip. The friends flip, slip, flip, tip, 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 tip.
doing.
Slip into what your favorite slip song is.
Jokes are even bad for me.
You gotta want.
If I had to pick one, okay, this feels like I don't know that any of them are great songs. It's almost like they're like, hey, let's write some hit songs, and none of them were hit songs.
Disagree fiercely. How dare you?
I'll go with Discipline. I think Discipline's a pretty solid track.
Great song. Great song. Rach.
Me and Jimmy are best friends. I also said Discipline.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. It's amazing. It's a great song.
We shared notes.
They shared notes. Let's talk about, okay, look. So what happened is Trent Reznor quit for 5 years. He was like, fuck this. I'm going to look into doing scores, and fuck 9 Inch Nails, and Hesitation Marks came 5 years later. And through Columbia and Alan Moulder came the only album that they did under Columbia. Shocker, that relationship didn't work out. Look, this album was the first one that came after. There was a point in time where Trent Reznor was basically said, like, I don't like doing 9 Inch Nails anymore. I don't like it. This isn't fun for me anymore. And he quit. He was like, I want the scores. I want the other things. I want my own thing. And then 5 years later, as one does, he was heavily involved with scores. To me, Hesitation Marks, this works to his benefit and detriment. I think sometimes it's confusing, even like mid-song. Like there will be amazing builds and portions of songs leading to great releases and suspense. But then there are parts that are almost, it's so weird that Evil concentrated so much on the imagery, because it's, what I put in the notes for this album is it's almost like he was concentrating on specific imagery that I'm not seeing. And this is that, it almost feeling like it's music based off imagery that I'm not seeing. That's fucking crazy, right? Evil, so going to you, Evil, what were your thoughts on Hesitation?
Okay, I was pumping my fists when you were talking about imagery, because I after the previous two albums that we just talked about, this feels like he's starting to experiment again and try new things.
I love this so much.
And he's failing in spots, but that's okay, because it's like creative again. And I like this album, but I think it's very imperfect. And it's the same. He's doing the musical collage thing again instead of just writing songs for albums. And that's what happened here.
Oh, that's so good. Rach, what did you think of 2013's Hesitation Marks?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Evil. There's a lot of stuff in here that is...
But not me. You don't agree with me?
Not really.
Like I said, pretty similar things.
It's brand new stuff that we haven't heard before. But some of it is so terrible. What songs I wrote, this is the worst song that I've ever heard.
Which one?
I don't want to hurt feelings. Everything. I hated it. There was so much in there. There's a part with guitar distortion that like sounds okay, and then it just gets bad again. And I wrote down that I was making a what's that smell face probably while I was listening to it. But there was good stuff on here, but it was a mixture of really fun ideas and then some really poorly executed ideas.
Tell me which song.
Which song?
That you hate, that you were like doesn't belong. That
everything. The song Everything, not like everything.
No. This is what I have in my notes. Everything is the only song in the 9 Inch Nails entire discography that absolutely, completely doesn't belong.
Fair.
Where the
I'm glad we're on the same page.
What the fuck? What the fuck happened with that song? Like, could you imagine, like, listening to, like, 8 9 Inch Nails albums, then getting to that one song and being like, wait, what? What is he doing?
Yeah.
He's doing this. Why? Agree with you on that.
Yay.
Is that your...
He wanted to write a pop punk surfer anthem-ish thing really badly.
Like, yeah, it's just, 9 Inch Nails and SR-71, and they're doing their best. I don't know. Look...
Wait, hold on. Time out. Is this the beginning of Jack Tintan and Trent Reznor?
I think it might be. I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a safe bet.
That makes sense.
It's a safe bet. Evil, what's the best song on Hesitation?
Who came back haunted?
That's a great song. It's a really good song. Hey, Rach,
Yeah.
how them drinks do? What's the best song?
I said various methods of escape.
That song's okay. Guys, the song by far is Running. But more importantly on this album, everything needs to be taken off the entire discography. Like, the most important thing to me for this album is that someday I get a hold of Trent Reznor and I just tell him, hey, the song Everything on Hesitation Marks, you gotta just make it disappear. You gotta Godfather that shit and just make it's gotta go away.
Hilarious.
We don't have to cover this long, but I really, really wanted to, because I wanted to hear both your interactions with it, what you thought about it. But it's the Ghosts EPs, albums, that sort of thing. They started in 2008. It's basically like 2 hours of ambiance. Rachel already looks like she has things to say.
Yeah.
Do it.
This is great background music. I have no complaints about these albums. There were actually a few songs throughout the other albums that we've already covered where I was like, you know what? This would actually be better without lyrics. Like, I could do without vocals on this. Him and his good friend Atticus really know how to put a good soundscape together.
Meh.
And I feel like, yeah, I don't have any complaints about. I didn't listen to absolutely every single song and every single one, but what I listened to was just really, really beautiful.
I mean, so Evil, did you the Ghosts?
What is it for? Is my question.
Why does it?
Because I want to
What is
know,
it for?
what is this for?
So what I think is, if you look at the date, which is 2008, this is when Trent and Atticus were really into their score stuff, like deep into their buttoning score stuff, the Bird Box and all that stuff. Not Box. What was the one that was? It doesn't matter. And they, I think that this was a bunch of runoff score stuff. They were like, "This is fucking amazing. We should just come out." This and what I was talking about with we're just gonna come out with it on our website and just give it to our fans. This was part of it. They got pissed at Interscope, which was their label at the time. That's a big shocker, right? And they got together with a bunch of really, really good musicians, and they took this very jazz approach to industrial scoring for 10 months, and this is what they got. I think they were coming up with music that they thought would work for some score someday, but nothing particularly in mind.
I don't know. Like, this is a score for nothing. I don't know if I like that.
Not with a score for nothing.
What's it for?
What does it matter?
You know
No,
what it's
I'm
for?
being like
Evil. Do you know what it's for? It's for me
I don't.
at work. And
Okay.
I'm typing, and then I look over, I'm like, oh yeah, this is nice. This is fucking nice.
No, I mean, it's fine. I don't know what to do with it.
Fondle it, play with it. Look, clearly projects that derive from their score, like tons of. First off, so people know this, right? That like scores for movies, they will hire multiple people that will make multiple scores, and the scores, like half the scores don't work out. It's like, no, this doesn't work with the movie. This isn't. That's what I think. I think that this was I feel like this was one of those ones that he was like, what the fuck? This score is amazing. And maybe to you, it's like, nah, maybe they were right. Maybe they should have gone and, Hans Zimmerman. But the thing is, you get to a song like, for me, like Together. Together is the best one by Ghosts on Ghost, the 5 section in 2020. That song could be on any score ever, and it would make you feel all of the feelings in the fucking world. And I really, really like the Ghost. Who is it for, Evil? It's for me. That's who it's for.
Not who.
Sorry,
What is it for? Those are different.
I'm a what? I'm a noun.
What are you going to do with this? I have some questions.
Get excited to it? I don't know.
I'm being very
I'm gonna
tongue-in-cheek
work
here.
to it. Look. So there was no, but there was no part of you that listened to the ghost stuff and were like, how did you listen to it? That's what I'll ask.
I skimmed mostly. Because I'm like, I don't
Did
know
you
what
turn it on? I would look. You're a work music guy. I would say just give it a shot to just turn it on.
It's for
in
work.
The background.
This is for work. Is what you're saying. Ghosts is for work.
Sure. Do you know how important work? Do you know how much time I spend working? That's extremely important. It's a very important thing.
Work ghosts. Okay, that's fair. I that's all I needed to know.
Rachel, what did you think of the ghosts?
Like I said, I liked it. I agree. I think this is great background music. The way that I listened to it is when I was studying stuff that I needed to read, that this was the music going on because it wasn't something that I had to super focus on it.
I love it. I'm listening to it now. I fucking love it. You guys, you're fucking crazy. This shit is great. Actually,
I never said it was bad.
You
Never.
insinuated.
Not at all. I just don't know what the fuck to do with it.
You in 9-inch insinuated.
We're like 16 loco at this point.
Don't blame my drunkenness on this. Hey, look. Okay. Evil, are you a score guy?
Depends on the score. I don't just listen to scores. Like I like to watch the movie with the score. That's what I think. That's my problem with this. I'm like, where's the movie for this?
Okay.
Like I want the visual that this was written for. Just like if I'm watching a movie without the score a lot, I'm like, where's the fucking score for this movie? I'm like, where's the movie for this fucking score? It's the same thing.
Look, okay, it's fair. That's the discography, everybody. We did it. We got to get into the end.
Bad Witch.
No, when was the last time you looked at the we're not doing Bad Witch.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an EP.
Sure.
I took it off.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Do you want to talk about it?
No. That's okay.
Well, I want to talk about Add Violence because I fucking liked it a lot.
Just the name?
No, I like that EP.
It's a fantastic EP.
It's good. It's 5 songs. It's quick. It's catchy. I love it. Okay.
No, it's really, really good. That's that's all you had?
It's different. It's like, I don't know. It's quirky.
I think it's fantastic. I love it. I love the projection of it. I like the fucking cover, the
yes
thing, the old school fucking Russian like knob turning Chernobyl fucking thing. Yeah.
I dig it. When I got to this EP, I'm like, that's where it hit me. Like he's best when he's pared down to just a little bit. Very directed.
Let's do a couple things, then we'll get to the end here. Look, everybody, I want to talk to you guys about something. What do you think of the band name, the art, I feel like there's a lot to talk about here that we already have. 9 Inch Nails, first of all, whatever about the name's fine, but because of the name, the logo is amazing.
Genius.
Right?
It's good branding. It's brilliant branding.
My God. It is the best of the branding. It's so good. And as far as art, we already talked about their videos.
Jesus. Yeah.
Like the mid-90s, extremely graphic, we are not going to cover this stuff is pretty awesome.
Choice.
It's a choice, guys.
I think it's a good choice. I mean, I've already said, like, this is everything about their music has such a visual component for me
yeah.
I think the reason or one of the big contributors to that for me is because of the visuals that I experienced kind of when their music was new when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's fair. Guys, let's do it. Do you all have 5 favorite songs?
I have a honorable mention.
I cut it to 5.
You have an honorable mention, Evil?
Yeah.
Look, I only have 8 of them. Look, this is hard.
That's kind of impressive.
I could
Why
have
is it
picked a bunch
impressive,
more.
bro?
Yeah.
That you got it down to 8.
I'll take that one out. Look, here we go. All right, I already talked about it, but I'll put "We're in This Together" at the one of the last ones. I talked about why it's brilliant. I love the fucking. It's this thing that would typically be saying in some major fucking Donny Osmond fucking "We're in This Together" thing, and he's screaming it in this minor key. I just think it's fucking brilliant. So "We're in This Together" is a brilliant song that I love. I got to get it down to 6, right? Should I just do?
It's your podcast.
Can I do what I want?
Yes.
You can do whatever you want.
You guys are so nice. You know what I'll do, and it's simply because to me this song exemplifies the perfect beat, bass, guitar, heaviness, funk. Let's not forget, Nine Inch Nails got some funk in them. But the song, "The Big Come Down" on the Fragile is the cool. He has the ability to make the coolest fucking beats that I just fucking love so much. And so I have to mention "The Big Come Down." I have to, or else I die. And that's how it goes. Rachel, what's the fifth? What is your fifth favorite song of Nine Inch Nails?
My 5th favorite song is "The Perfect Drug."
Hmm.
I feel like that's an easy one.
Rach,
What?
you are.
I feel like that's an easy answer because it was very popular and very poppy.
Yeah, it's an easy answer. It's a fucking pussy way out.
And honestly, and Trent hates the song apparently. He thinks it's a piece of garbage, so
Yeah, he's an idiot.
also true. But yeah, that's my number 5.
I love it. Rachel's got her head, but her head is unraveling. Evil, what's your fifth favorite?
Man, I don't give honorable mention.
Yeah, you do.
Can I give 2 honorable mentions?
No.
Yeah, I gave him. Evil,
I feel like I have to
we're in
throw
this
some
together now.
Okay. I have an honorable mention from Broken because that'll make more
Love it.
sense later. Wish, I'm going to give an honorable mention.
Wish is great.
And then my second honorable mention will be The Hand That Feeds.
Bomb.
My fifth, my official top 5 starts at number 5 with "We're in This Together."
Yeah, that's such a good song. It really is. It's so good. Do I do it? Go with my number 5? Fuck. My number 5 is Me, I'm Not off of Year Zero. It is a slow, evil, not the guy. There's just something about him kind of monotoning the whole "can we stop" thing in the middle of the album is amazing. And that is my number 5. Rachel, did you do your 5 or was that an honorable mention?
That was 5.
How dare you? What's your number 4?
I cut it down. My number 4 is Evil's number 5. It's "We're in This Together."
Yeah.
It's so good.
Don't forget that was my number 7. Super
Right.
important. Honestly, that song's amazing. It could have been so many of these could have been one. Evil, what do you think?
I'm flip-flopping with my friend Rachel. My number 4 is "The Perfect Drug."
What?
Also, speaking of like a visual tie-in, the whole music video, the Edgar Allan Poe Absinthe Fever Dream thing is fucking cool.
Stop trying to talk me into fucking ranking it higher. Dude, New Orleans, it was the whole fucking God damn it. My number 4 is closer. And look, here's the thing. There are two types of folk. Here's the thing.
Jesus
Evil. Well, I was thinking hard on what to call your favorite album for Nine Inch Nails. Earlier stuff and the later stuff, and this was the comp I came up with. What you have is there are 2 types of, and Rachel, just I roll the shit out of your way through this, and I'm sorry and I love you. But there are two types of dudes that are going to succeed. And there are the Ric Flair, Deion Sanders dudes that are going to be in your face, wheeling and dealing, fucking, they're going to beat you and they're going to yell at you. And that is early Nine Inch Nails to me. That is the downward spiral, pretty hate machine. Fucking, I'm going to run in here and fuck you like an animal, and because it gets me closer to God thing. And then there is the other type of dude, the wrestler comp, the Undertaker, Jerry Rice sort of dude that's going to walk into a room and he knows he can control it, but he's not going to unless he needs to. That is the darkness of the later Nine Inch Nails. That Evil and I are different guys, but we're the same. And it's evil gravitates toward the Ric Flair. Evil wants the super alpha gator shoes guy. And I will always gravitate towards the
hard
Undertaker.
Time keeping him down.
Love this so much. And that is why there is this look. Closer is the songs like Closer are fucking amazing and I love them, but there's a subtlety that Trent learned eventually that stuck with me. And that's why Closer isn't like my favorite Nine Inch Nails song of all time. But look, here's the thing is I also like Ric Flair. It's still really it's still number 4, motherfuckers. And that is how I compare Ric Flair to Nine Inch Nails. Rachel, what? Give me your next.
I feel like that's a part you could fast forward through.
Absolutely not.
And then at the very end, just say, and that's how. My number 3 is Something I Can Never Have. That's a good song.
Evil, what's your number 3?
Same album.
Same album, different song.
Different song.
But what?
I mean, it's Head Like a Hole.
That's a good one.
Damn. So fucking good.
Go watch the music. Like, okay, you have to watch their music videos. Like, it is a lost and dying art. A really, truly great music video. But if you want to be, and I think this is part of why that album feels stuck in time for me, is the music video is intertwined with the music in my experience. And it rocks.
But you're right, though. It's the whole, look, it's the certain time and place thing. It's the 7 thing. Like, I keep bringing it up, but it's the 7 thing. Like, it's fucking, that is a very specific era that we had. And unfortunately for Nine Inch Nails, I guess, musically, they were that symbol or whatever you want to call it. My number 3, and it's just because it's good, it's Echoplex off of The Slip.
Ooh.
There is this very, very basic look. We've talked how, and subtly, I don't know if you've caught my hints, but one of the things I fucking love about Nine Inch Nails is their usage of this 80s breakbeat stuff. And you get to 2008's The Slip, and it starts with this like a boom boom cat boom 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 cat boom, like the super basic beat, and it builds and builds and builds into this beautiful orchestral, dark, demented. My voice just echoes off these walls. Here's the thing: talk shit about his lyrics. He's either talking about in this song. He's talking about how fame has led him to this isolated life, or B, what it says in Genius that I don't know that I believe, but B, that he has kind of become out of reach of the producers now, of the people that are doing things now. And what he's doing is being lost on the ears of the popular now. And he's doing this kind of passive aggressive tonal echoing off these walls. That visual to me is amazing. Anyway, Echoplex, sorry. A little bit of a diatribe. Calm Down, Animal, whichever one. Is that?
Margot Spark is not that big.
Evil, what is your second favorite Nine Inch Nails song?
It is Hurt.
Did you, but you did,
I mean, it's good.
it's all right.
Yeah. I mean,
No, it's,
come on.
it's, yeah.
You
It's
like
pretty
it?
good. Do you like the lyrics to that, Rach?
To Hurt? Yes.
Rach,
Yeah. Number 2?
we can chat. Have your second favorite.
Yeah. My number 2 is Head Like a Hole. We have a lot of similar top songs, and it makes me very happy.
I just love this.
It's a great song.
It is a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really, really, really good song.
Head Like a Hole is kind of the, the founder of the feast, if you will.
It fucking rocks, is
And I
what it
will.
does.
Yeah. I think, hang on. Let me just go ahead and punch that in real quick and press play. And here we go. I will listen to Head Like a Hole while we finish this.
There you go.
My number 2 is the song that, look, if Head Like a Hole punched a hole through my face, then the second song left me.
Mm. I don't disagree.
What he chose to do. It's terrible lie, people. Rachel,
Yeah.
what'd I do?
Did you go evil for number 2?
Yeah, it's Hurt.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be.
We're going out of order.
Correct.
It's all very confusing.
Yeah.
My number 1 song. Sorry.
Sorry.
My number 1 song is Hurt
Wait,
because it's good. We're so close.
did you hurt yourself today?
No,
See if you
Oh.
can
not
see.
today.
Lame.
Hey, Rachel, my friend, tell me, how is your Empire of Dirt doing?
Okay. Well,
Okay,
that's good.
lyrically, yeah, Beneath the Stains of Time is a fucking killer lyric. That's a great lyric.
Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite? That's your favorite Nine Inch Nails song?
Said it was.
Boom, point taken. Evil, what's yours?
Okay, this I feel like such a simple basic bitch for picking this. But
Closer.
it is closer. But
That's fine.
if you watch the director's cut of the video and listen to that fucking song, prepare to have some feelings that you might not like, but it will make you feel.
Yes. I'm very glad somebody picked it. That's the thing.
And I mean, it's the basic pick, but it's also for
It's
me.
the
I
right
think it's the
pick.
right pick because
It's the right pick.
Yeah,
It's the right pick if it wasn't for one of the coolest fucking videos and the coolest fucking songs of all time. The best fucking Nine Inch Nails song of all time is The Perfect Drug. That song is fucking insane.
so good.
Wait till when you guys go to YouTube and see it live, and the drummer is fucking that breakdown towards the like 3/4 in was like a do cat. Holy
Yep.
fucking shit! Like the whole song, the premise of the song, the lyrics, the drums, the goddamn motherfucking Trent Reznor is a beast. And now we get to rank the albums. Let's end this shit, motherfuckers. I'm super excited for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to make us rank 9 albums. Don't look at me like that. You know what?
I'm
What'd I do?
interested to see what your 9 albums are.
Doing
Okay, all right. Let's take a quick unannounced break so I can pee. Do you know why? Because I drank a Four Loko.
Yeah, you did. So I have 9, but I also have Bad Witch on there, and I don't have Teeth.
I don't have teeth. I have 8.
Okay, so you don't have Bad Witch on there? Okay. I will just forget that that's on there.
It's not in list.
Well, it was at one point, it was in the outline, and that's the outline that I copy pasted.
Got it. Okay.
That's okay. It was pretty low anyway. I'm so happy we have so many similar songs. Also, you guys are so basic. I thought I was going to get laughed out because of The Perfect Drug, because I felt
Really?
like, yes. I feel like
So good though.
Perfect Drug, Closer, Head Like a Hole. I mean, if they're like pop bangers, like if it's stuff that got played and played and played and played and played, I just did not expect you boys to be in love with those songs like I was. Also, Johnny Cash's version is better.
I won't argue with you, but I also don't know if that's right.
I will concede to the point of I feel like there's a lot of songs that are done really well by the original person and also done really well by somebody else.
There's
And so it's
You're a dissonance.
Nine Inch Nails version that
okay.
is
Better.
yeah.
I would say that
I think it's more powerful.
it makes more sense for Nine Inch Nails to be singing it. And in that way, maybe that version makes more sense. It's better. But
Johnny's version I love it. I also think it's more powerful with the video attached to it.
you love a good video.
Man, I do. I really do. All right.
Let's rank the albums.
Let's do it. I only have 8.
Starting with our, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
I still don't have my first two. Let's go with it. Rach,
Yeah. Here I am.
what's your 9th? What's your least favorite Nine Inch Nails album?
Broken is what I put for number 9.
Why? Why do you hate Broken?
Putting Broken in here.
Wait, Broken doesn't count.
Okay, let's talk about what albums we are ranking then. I don't have With Teeth on there.
I do.
With Teeth
Now
counts.
that I look.
If we were ignoring it for this episode, I ignored it for my outline
We did
or for my
ignore this episode.
ranking. We did.
Do
We
so.
said we'll talk about it another time.
With Teeth counts. Broken does not count. Everything else is good to go. Wait,
Do you want
is it
me to
9?
go?
I think I counted. I think I fucked up,
Then there's 8, right?
Missy.
I don't think I listened to With Teeth enough to really judge where it should go because we weren't going to go over it.
Look, wait. Pretty Machine Downward Spiral, Fragile with Teeth for Goes Slip, hesitation marks. Okay. I think I'm going to do it. Rach,
Yeah.
Broken doesn't count. With Teeth does count. What do you got?
Okay, so number
Do you want
what?
Evil to start?
No, I can still do it.
Do it.
I mean, I can still tell you the sucky ones. For number 8, I've had hesitation marks. Did
Why
not.
do you hesitation mark?
Well, I hate 2 others more, but we're not ranking those.
Which ones do you hate more?
Bad Witch and Broken.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. You're silly. Does not like hesitation marks. Evil. What about you?
Okay, I got a whole bunch of caveats and rules, and
I love it. I want
Okay.
more of it.
first of all, I've got 2 lists. Neither of them have my favorite album on here. So,
Because of EPs?
yep.
Interesting.
Okay.
So, both of them, my number 8 is Ghosts, the Ghosts, because still haven't figured out what I'm supposed to do with that. But both of my lists have Ghosts.
Fair. Intrigued, but also it'll make for good content. My least favorite Nine Inch Nails album. So here's what I've done, ladies and gentlemen. I have compared every Nine Inch Nails album. Here's the thing. All right, we've done a lot of, yeah, that's right. I'm elongating this. We have done a lot of band dissection. And there's a lot of, shit versus good versus whatever. This band is the most upward, like it all-ness for me. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to compare every album to a wine. I'm going to compare every single album to and partake in at some point. My least favorite being the album Year Zero. I would compare Year Zero to a Merlot post the movie Sideways. It's a fantastic album, But for some reason, like one really, really bad fucking review, the critics just shat on it, and it just fucking did not make it. And I'm okay with it because it's my least favorite Nine Inch Nails album. I will go to before we move on. It is a full-bodied Zinfandel. Look, it's at least it's heavy. It's a 14.5 ABV, bro. Okay. You have to sit with it. You have to be ready for it. But it's also just the same album as one up above, basically. And that is Hesitation Marks. Hesitation Marks is my second to least favorite Nine Inch Nails. Evil, what is your second to least Nine Inch Nails?
Wow. So my number 7 on both lists, mind you, because I have 2, is Year Zero.
Yeah, I get it. It was low for me, too.
Well, you figured out what to do with ghosts, so that's the difference here.
Rachel looks up in despair a tad and asks or asserts, what is...
Number 7?
7.
Sure.
The Slip, for me,
Okay.
is my second to least favorite.
No
There's not a lot
reasoning, we're just
on there I like.
going with it. Rachel, what's your 6, right? 6th favorite?
My 6th was Ghosts, even though it was incredibly unoffensive and great background music. I just didn't know where to put it, you know? I
like it.
You don't know what to do with it.
don't know what to do with it.
See?
That's not true. It's great background music.
Pretty similar to what you had, Evil?
Well, my number 6 is not Ghosts, because that's my number 8. My number 6 on both lists, because I got 2 lists, is The Slip.
So many things coming. My number 6, it's that $13 amazing bottle of red. It'll just work whenever. It's there for you to ignore, but when you open the cork, it's good. It's the Ghosts album. It's the 1 through 6. It's the 13 bottle chuck. That is a wine comp. And now we move on to 6, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We move on to 5. I'll go first. Number 5 is the Opus 1 for me. It's the popular love pick. It's fucking amazing. It's deep. Its tasting notes are subtle. It'll work anytime, ever. It's there for you to ignore, but it's always amazing. There's just not a lot of subtlety for me, and it's the Fragile. That is the best Nine Inch Nails album for me. Rachel, what's your 5th favorite NIN?
It's The Fragile.
Hey,
Hey,
who
twins.
thought? Not me. Evil, what about you?
This is where my lists get a little wonky. So on, let's call it the official list.
Love it.
But there is another. On the official list, we're at number 5. I'm with both of you. It is The Fragile.
Wow.
On my official list.
Triplets.
Now, there's another list
Oh, there is?
with a caveat that we have not gotten to yet. And on that one, my number 5 is Hesitation Marks.
So confused.
So many lists.
I don't even know how to do this.
I'm not even drunk.
Evil, I am. And I am same confused. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. What's your 4th favorite Nine Inch Nails?
Official list,
Sure.
Hesitation Marks.
All right. Didn't you just say that?
That was my number
What is
5
happening?
on the unofficial list. So my official list, Hesitation
hell?
Marks, is number 4. On another list, which
one
I'll
with
explain
throat.
at some point, my number 4 is With Teeth.
Number 4 is with...
Wait, is that right? That's not right.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, it is. That is. That's right. That's actually right. Yep, that's right.
Is it
So yes.
officially
Officially.
or unofficially?
Officially.
Rachel, what's your 4th favorite Nine Inch Nails album?
Officially, it's Year Zero. And I know that's a lot higher than I liked the concept. I thought it was
You felt safe
I felt safe.
amongst.
I
a lot of
wasn't
music that
scared.
Makes you feel not safe.
Heyo. No, it makes sense. So what did I do? Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry, I had to look at the things and the stuff. I am going to now say my fourth favorite Nine Inch Nails album. It is I'll say it's a Petite Sirah sold the same year as Harvested. It's bold, it's young, it's violent, it's unready, it's brilliance. It's a freshman quarterback whose defenses haven't figured it out yet. So the first 3 games, he just fucking eviscerates the entire fucking club. But this is a hot take after studying, and I think a small part of me saw this coming, that if I'm going by which album is should be in the greatness pantheon versus my favorite, this would be higher, but Downward Spiral is my fourth favorite Nine Inch Nails album. It's if this was a best, it'd be higher up, but it's not. And that's why that's my fourth favorite. Rachel, now you go.
My third favorite is your fourth favorite. I have Downward Spiral for my third.
You spiraled downward.
I did.
Okay. Evil,
All right. I have 2 lists, remember.
according to your 7 lists, what's your third favorite according to your fourth list?
On the official, we'll call this the official list
Okay.
that is in reality, but not really
Okay.
because my favorite album is not on the top of either list. So in the unofficial official list, my number 3 is With Teeth. And then in an alternate reality, my number 3 is Pretty Hate Machine.
Nobody understands anything. So your number 3 is what?
It's either
Officially
It's either
With Teeth. Unofficially,
either.
in an alternate reality, it's Pretty Hate Machine. But neither of these lists count because my favorite's not on either of them.
because it's an EP.
But that's fun. All right. Rachel, what's your third favorite?
Second favorite. My second.
Wait.
I already did my third.
As did I.
Do your third. What's your third favorite, David?
Everybody's done third?
How many
Yeah.
lists do you
For
have?
real? Look,
He has- It's how many locos does he have?
my third is look, this is plain and simple, motherfuckers. This is a 2010 Pinot Noir from the Willamette Valley. It's a perfect album that was of a perfect time, and I will drink it anytime. Even though it isn't like the fucking sentimental whatever to me, it's a fucking perfect drink album, and I know it. And
Is
it's
it a
With
perfect
Teeth
drug?
by Nine Inch Nails. It's not the perfect drug, but it is kind of. It's With Teeth. That is my third favorite. It's With Teeth. Evil, what's your second favorite according to your third list?
So, on the official list, my second favorite album is Pretty Hate Machine. Now remember,
Love it.
my favorite album is not on either of these. In the alternate reality, and all secrets will now be revealed. In the alternate reality, if I could pare this album down to just the shit I liked, which is probably about half of the double album, The Fragile would be my number 2.
Interesting, he said. Evil likes the Opus one. Rachel?
My number 2. Sorry, I was trying to figure out which one I voted for Evil for. My number 2 is With Teeth.
Hey, no explanation, everyone. She just says it and goes. We love that about her. That's why we keep her around. My number 2,
You're still deciding, aren't you?
I have a 2, just so you guys know. There's the easy and there's the not easy.
What is your heart telling you?
Favorite, not best, right?
Yeah,
Favorite, not best.
favorite.
My number 2 is a Chateau Montella Chardonnay. Look, motherfuckers, this is the Paris tasting in 1976, all right? This is Paris saying, Napa Valley, what the fuck is this? It's Pretty Hate Machine, motherfuckers. France looked at Napa Valley and was like, it's fucking America, you fucking jokers. And this in a blind taste test. And they said, my God, what do we have here? And that's my number 2. Leading to my number 1, it's a Langeron Chartier. It's a Muscadet. It's a super underrated Most people don't even know it exists, but it does, and you can scoff at it if you want. But if you ask a true sommelier like me, per example, they'll tell you what's up. My favorite Nine Inch Nails album is The Slip. And nope, it's not. What is it really, Rachel?
It's not the slip. It shouldn't be the slip.
It really is. It's
Okay.
the best Nine Inch Nails album. It is the apex of the heavy bottom fucking industrial. I'm angry to the score. I am building the space. They came in with The Slip and they made greatness. And that is the best Nine Inch Nails album. So what's the best Nine Inch Nails album?
Who are you asking? Me?
Said Rachel. Said the
Sorry.
name Rachel.
You sometimes pause and then it
Yeah,
fast forwards really fast, so I can't hear the very first part of what you said.
Rachel, what's your favorite album?
My very favorite album by it's
Rachel?
Pretty Hate Machine. It's good. It's a
Mispronounced the downward spiral.
Evil. We can't be the same on everything.
Damn it.
Pretty Hate Machine. It's just I think part of the reason I love it so much is because it's so different from what was going on at the time that it feels like it's the best because it's coming out of nowhere.
I think you owe me a great big apology. Evil, what's your favorite Nine Inch Nails album?
Well, on both of my lists that aren't actually accurate, because my favorite album's not on either, it is the downward spiral from the greatest year in
Weird.
music
I win.
ever.
I'm so mad.
You know, T-Dog was right.
I just didn't think you were a basic bitch. That's all. I just
So
didn't.
basic.
Slam
This
a
guy,
pajama.
me? You don't think I'm basic?
I guess sorry.
What the?
Evil, rate the end, okay? I don't give a fuck how you do it. I know it's not on your Mount Rushmore. I know it's not one of your favorites. I know it's not, maybe it's your top 27th industrial band of all time. Just give me a rating.
On a scale of 1 to 9 inches, this is a fully 9-inch nails.
I love it. I love it.
Also, that's what she said.
Also, that's what she said. Here's the thing. Studying for this made me realize how much I fucking love all of Nine Inch Nails. Like all of them. So while they're not on my Mount Rushmore, I would definitely confidently after this say that they're in my top 10 favorite bands of all time.
Wow.
And I think that's a very big rating. Rachel, random rating time. Go.
Where they're not on my Mount Rushmore. We all know that by listening to me talk. They're not in my favorite bands. They're not a band that I would listen to voluntarily for the most part.
Well,
However, I do think that Nine Inch Nails is one of the most innovative and talented bands of our time. Hands down.
she hands down at everybody, and that's it. We did good. We covered Nine Inch Nails. She hands downed it, so it's good. Join us next week. We didn't talk about With Teeth. You know why we didn't talk about With Teeth? Because it's on DL's 10 out of 10s next week, and we're gonna talk about it. Evil, go drink. No, don't drink. Go. What is it? 9. What is it? 10.
It's 10:40.
Do what you want, man.
Green chartreuse looks an awful lot like absinthe. I might have some of that.
Do you have absinthe? Yeah, I like absinthe.
What don't you
Rachel,
have?
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to get some Wingstop. I'm very excited about it.
Honest, I have never had Wingstop.
Gosh, so good. So good.
I don't
Big
even know what
fan.
you're talking about.
Chicken?
Yeah, where?
Wingstop. It's a
No,
place.
I don't know.
There might not be one. Well, I'd be surprised if there wasn't one in Boise.
Wings.
How much better is it than Buffalo Wild Wings?
Oh, it is a lot better, honestly.
Because
I love the-
sucks ass.
Yeah, I love the atmosphere. Like, I like watching the games at Buffalo, but
Wait, are you going to Buffalo Wild Wings?
no, I'm going to Wingstop. But
Sorry. Are you going to Wingstop?
yes, I'm just gonna go pick them up and bring them back. There's not really an atmosphere at Wingstop. There's like a couple tables set up, but it's no Buffalo in that way.
Join us next week for With Teeth. We love you guys. Good night and good luck.